Yo, what's up, people? Welcome back to another episode on Gooner TV. It's your boy Jason Gooner. Of course, if you are new to the channel, please think about subscribing to the channel. We're trying to grow the channel, people. We're up over 600 subscribers now, and we're extremely thankful for the growth of the channel in such a short time. Yes, had some free time today. Definitely wanted to bring out some content. Of course, recently the Reggae Boyz were drawn into Group B of the Nations League. Coming up, we're gonna just go through some details on the Nations League, let people know when those fixtures will be played. Have something I want to play for you from the CONCACAF Nations League Twitter page, just giving a nice rundown of all what's going to happen in the competition, just to give you a clearer view. Definitely, of course, before Nations League even starts, we have the crucial World Cup qualifiers coming up on June 6th and 9th. We host Dominican Republic on the 6th and then travel to Dominica on the 9th. So we're going to go through those games as they draw closer and closer. And of course, the 50, well, it can be anywhere from 35 to 55 man squad would have been submitted to CONMEBOL on May the 5th. Of course, that has not been released as yet, but I did want to have a little discussion trying to see, who would you guys place in this 55 man squad? Of course, 55 players. I have a little breakdown of how many defenders, midfielders, forwards, goalkeepers, and we're going to try to go through as a group and the chat and the channel and see if we can come up with a decent list and see how close we actually are to the list when it does come out. So it's a lot of names, people, but what I plan to do is probably just pull up something on the screen, type in some names, and we can erase, put players back, and try to get up to 55 players. So yes, I think that should be something that we can all enjoy. It will be interactive, and of course, once the footage is out there, people will comment after. So yeah, we're just trying to grow the engagement, let people know that Jason Gooner does have a channel. Some people still don't know. People are still surprised when I tell them. So yeah, we're going to try to keep promoting the channel, people, and bringing out the content. And as you can see, fresh out the mails, people, the Jamaica jersey has arrived, the new one. I've been doing all my Jamaica content in some Umbro gears. May I have some, which one? I think may I have a Lanzera gears put on in there. Which other one again? Kappa. I have one of them there. I have a All Sport. I have every jersey but the Adidas. But no, people, finally, I find the size. Nobody ask me which size me have, people. It's a slim fit jersey. So that's all I will say. All the people that don't get them jersey yet, remember, it's a slim fit jersey. So nobody try prove to nobody and get no size where. You understand? That's all I say about that, people. So nobody judge me. I get my jersey. It look a little crush up though. I could have press it before I come live. But so it got people fresh out of the package. I just put it on and throw it on for the video, So yes, coach, you can put me on now. I'm ready. I have my jersey. Yeah, so people, as you know, as I said before, people, we had the draw for the Nations League. Before we go down into that and I play that content for you guys, I will definitely just check in with the chat real quick. So know yourself, checking in early. Remember to hit the like button as you come in. Big up and bless up. Know yourself, respect and bless up as well, bro. Coach just say war and I laugh. I don't know what that is about. But yeah, we not depend them thing depend that channel. Yeah, you see me? We're just gonna bring the content, the football content, have the discussion them. Yes, and Switzerland, peace where I say. Football more important than all them foolishness there. Anyway, fresh God, bless up yourself every time, bro. Yeah, man, like up the live. Let them know to share it around as well. Let the people them know. Well, I'm gonna get a subscriber from a ton on the live. Should I do more live? Mr. Man. Big up, Mr. Man. Big up, Mr. Man. Yeah, man, we're there about in the day. No, coach, we just discuss the football, coach. No war business. I just like a joke, Sebastian, blessings, my brother. Blessings. So glad you could make it to the channel today and support the channel and watch some content. Yeah, man. Mr. United, big up yourself, Mr. United, I remember the first day I did do a live video. You didn't want to send me super chat. Well, I believe YouTube has given me, I believe the option should be there. So let me know if it's working. Is the super chat option working for you guys? Do you see it? Because they sent me an email and told me that it's working, but I don't see any super chat yet. So I wonder if the people them just not like my content or what, or maybe it's that me look so rich. People are saying, Jason Gooner don't need no super chat. And it's true, me don't need no super chat, but I mean, I like to say a few, you know, say the people them supporting, you know. Not even gonna run down the membership them, even though there's a join button now. Yeah. If people want to join, that is excellent, because that is just, you know, supporting and showing your support. It's $1.99 a month. But yeah, it's as the memberships fill up, we'll definitely make some members only content where maybe you'll get some war inside the members only. You never know. So that could be a reason. If you like them foolishness there, I will only let the members hear when me in a war mode. Yeah, man, everybody, I bless up everybody. Owen, bless up yourself. Mr. Man, that's a good question. And on my paper here, and I'll get to it later, but I'll tell you, as of right now, for the 55-man squad, I worked it out to 5 goalkeepers, 18 defenders, 18 midfielders, and 14 forwards. That's how I was going to break it down. And we can see, once we start to put the names on the list, we can see if we can see if we want to adjust the numbers. But that's how, in my head, when I was breaking it down, I said, all right, 5 goalkeeper, 18 defender, 18 midfielder, and 14 forward. That should be good. Owen, stop chat. A member in the members only video, me will reveal the size. So if you want to know, yeah, man say custom. So you couldn't just keep it, yes, so Owen, you're gonna custom, and this man press us a laugh. People, me they go tell him if you subscribe, but until him take down the laugh, them not go tell him a joke. Yeah, man, Simon, early morning live. You know, I had some time today, so we're not gonna do the Jimmy Kimmel. We're gonna do we're forward in the daytime. I don't know what you call this. Who have daytime show? She named Kelly Clarkson and them people. Yeah. Big up. Yeah, man. I shoot out early today, man. We'd have some time and say, yo, you know what? From the other day, when they do the EPL show, I mean, they kind of want to talk about the Nations League group draw and them thing, but just they get tired, you understand? So, okay, so the sign is there. All right, well, we're going to see, blow, see it there. Dollar sign. Them a pretty dollar sign. We say me a millionaire. I must rupees the attack. Couldn't money. Couldn't US dollars. And Jamaican dollars, yeah. I guess you could have said me a millionaire, because Jamaican dollar. Yo, big up yourself, Mr. United. He predicted this. He said when there was a chance to give the super chat, he would give it. So, Mr. United, respect for being the first super chat of all time on Jason Gooner TV. That's huge. Respect, bro. Mr. Man, impreps you by one comment, but respect a pound. Yo, respect, Mr. Man. Big up yourself. Listen, Mr. United rich. Now, don't watch no pocket all day. Just, you know, support. Peace dance today. It's too early for war. Yeah. Maybe when my head chip in the late night hours, you might get a piece of war, but right now, no. And Aldane, yo, people say Aldane always war, you know, but him not always war still. Yeah, man, Owen, let them know. Dying with laugh, see there. Yo, Simon, one thing with me, you know, I'm an honest person. So I'm work out the maths in my head. Jamaican dollars, yes. And Big League Len, him have a way to trick YouTube and give money without actually giving money. So him just type £50, you know. Big League Len smart, you know, him outsmart all YouTube. All right, people. So respect for all the love and respect in the chat. But we are getting some content now, and I want to big up to CONCACAF Nations League Twitter page, because I'm literally going to play something direct from there. I thought it was a very good breakdown of area now. Aldane only worried bald people. Well, I start wear a hat because I don't want nobody know if my baller me have here. You see it. So yeah, as again, people, I go shout out to the I'm just gonna leave that money comment here. I like money, so I'll leave it there. So not the super chat kind of money, coach this, but again, he went to big league lens school, so him just put money, maybe it will manifest into actual money. I don't know, but maybe. All right, so again, big up to CONCACAF Nations League Twitter page. I'm going to play this direct from there and show you guys. This is a good breakdown of how it's going to work as far as the games and everything. So I'm going to play it for people. Some of you might have seen this before or heard this being spoken about, but just to
drives development and delivers.
I want to play it. So
The CONCACAF.
let me see, and let me know if you're hearing it, people. Coach, they say him a the teacher, learn school. But coach, you know see what this school about? You sure you want to be the headmaster of that school? I don't know, coach. But they just tell me say you not go to school there and you know about that school there. But I don't know if you want to be the president and the headmaster of the school I talk about. All right, let me know people with some tongue. All right, people. So I thought that video was very helpful. That was very helpful just to give you a breakdown of how the Nations League is going to work. One of the things that I noticed that I was happy that CONCACAF was able to kind of come up with a solution for was some of these smaller nations do struggle, when these windows are so compact, 2 games in one window to do the traveling. So I thought it was a really good idea for them to do the centralized location for League B and League C. Some people might not be so happy if they're from those countries in terms of the fan base, not being able to see their teams play. But I do think that it makes sense to just not burden these federations, that don't have the resources to be traveling, so many places so short in such a short amount of time. So yeah, I think that was smart on their part. I think Simon actually is touching on that right now in the comment section. Yes, Jason, as you are aware, traveling in our region commercially can be a challenge due to a lack of non-stop roads. So League B and League C have, yes, exactly. Yeah, that was one of the first things that I noted when I first watched this, like in my notes, that I thought that was a great idea. Solution, perhaps charter flights moving forward. Yeah, the funding for that though could also be an issue. And we must not forget that visas are needed. Yeah. That's another caveat that you have to think about as well. So yeah, I thought that those 2 things were great. I mean, I know that doesn't really affect Jamaica because we're in League A, but I think all the CONCACAF teams having a chance to develop and get better does help Jamaica as well. The more good teams in CONCACAF, the more teams that have a better chance of success in CONCACAF, I think it helps Jamaica in the long run because, nowadays Nations League pretty much fills the calendar in all these windows, and there's no way to really get friendlies outside the region. So we need the teams in the region to be at their best so that we're getting challenged. So yeah, I think all of it works together, and the better CONCACAF is, the better as a byproduct Jamaica will be as well. Float management, bless up yourself. Thanks for being here. All right, so basically from that, people, as you heard, Jamaica will play their games in the Nations League group in the windows of September, October, and November. And of course, the group stage, if you are not aware as yet how that looks, I'm sure you should be by now, but I'm going to get that on screen as well for you. Let me see here. So, of course, the group stage is going to look like this for Jamaica. And they are bringing back the Swiss style of play, which means, of course, we will not be playing all the teams in our group. We will only have 3 other opponents. We'll play one of those opponents twice, and then we'll play 1 game apiece against another opponent. So just like the last time, and this is what the group looks like. So Jamaica, Honduras, Trinidad and Tobago, Cuba, Nicaragua, and French Guyana. So that will be what the group will look like. And I believe the last time, respect and thanks to JD for this brilliant. Him say, this is his membership, people. So the man fly over the join button and just say, listen, my membership, this £50 on the board. Big up yourself, JD. I'm going to leave this comment here and just let people know that support is out there for the channel. All right. Know yourself, blessing up everybody, telling everyone to hit the like button again. Africans, that's literally my first question. I'm glad you asked it, and I'm gonna highlight. I won't highlight it just because I want to leave the super chat there and show it the respect. But the Swiss style people, I want to get your thoughts in the comment section. Do you guys think that the Swiss style is the best way to go about doing this? Because the way I see it, right, we have this group here, and they say that the games are going to be played in 3 windows. So to mine, typically in a window, you're going to play 2 matches. So, you know, why didn't they just say, okay, even if they wanted to, because the way I see it, right, there's always going to be, if you have 6 teams in the group and you need to play 5 games to play every team, right, that's 3 windows that you're using before the finals of the Nations League. Those 5 games could be played. That got you. So the quarterfinals is in November. So that's why they pack in the September and the October window those 4 games in the group, and that's why the Swiss thing comes in, because it would be a bit much to have 3 games in one window. I don't think there's a window long enough for that. So the 5 games are impossible. Okay, so since the finals is in March and the quarterfinals will be in November, that is how it will work. Okay, so the November game, you'll have a 2-leg tie against your quarterfinal opponent, just like the last time. Cool. Now, my other question is this. The last time we had a group set up like this, of course, put this back up. The last time we had the group set up like this, we played Haiti home and away, which and someone can tell me if I'm wrong or right on this. Was Haiti at the time of that group being drawn higher in the CONCACAF rankings than Honduras? And is that why we played Haiti home and away and not Honduras? Because if that's the case, that would mean then that our fixture should look something like Honduras home and away, Trinidad either home or away, and Cuba either home or away. Because if I'm not mistaken, you do play the higher ranked teams. Because I know we didn't play Suriname the last time. I need to look at that group again. There were 2 other teams in the group that we didn't play. I want to say Suriname was one of them, because that was the previous Nations League where we played Suriname. So, yeah, we played Haiti home and away. We played Honduras, and we played, was it Grenada? I believe it was Grenada was the last team. Yeah, so based on that, yes, I do remember. Yes, there we go. It was Cuba and Suriname. There we go. So I knew it wasn't 2 teams. So basically then, Simon, that means for this Nations League, we'll have Honduras home and away, Trinidad either home or away, and Cuba either home or away. I don't remember how that worked out. We played Honduras at home. So that would mean, based on this, we probably will play Trinidad at home and Cuba away if they keep the same exact format. Yeah, so we can kind of predict the fixtures, people. We'll have Honduras home and away. We'll have Trinidad at home, and we'll have Cuba away, if they do the fixtures identically to how they did them the last time. So Haiti was part 1 and we were 2. I see. Okay, so based on that, we'll have home and away with Honduras. We will avoid playing Trinidad at all. We'll play Cuba at home, and we'll have to go to Nicaragua. Well, that is not good. I would much rather play Nicaragua at home. Okay, well, Simon there. Yes, so okay, so based on that logic, and Simon, you know that they will be following the same thing, because if that's the case, that's the predicted games. Then, people, we'll play Honduras home and away, we'll play Cuba at home, and we'll have to travel away to Nicaragua. So we'll have 2 games in Central America. In those hostile environments, they usually have full stadiums, so those will not be easy fixtures, people. And we'll have Cuba at home to play as well. So yeah, that's what we can look forward to. Of course, those group stage games will take place in the September and October windows, and September and October windows, and we will have the quarterfinals when we get there in November, excuse me, and hopefully then in 2025 March we will have the finals for the Nations League this season. So that's pretty much it for the Nations League, people. I do want to give just have a quick look as well at the other group that was drawn. So in this one, you have Costa Rica, Guatemala, Martinique, Guadeloupe, Suriname, and Guyana. So based on the way that the fixtures were before, this would probably mean that Costa Rica, if we just to use them, they'll have home and away fixture against Guatemala. They'll have Guadeloupe at home, and they will have to travel to Suriname. So you can kind of use the way they did the fixtures last time and figure it out on your own, people. Now, when those matches will take place, that will be up to the fixtures that, whatever they come up with that makes sense for the fixtures, but we can kind of predict who we will be playing. So once again, to just close it off, people, in Group B, we have Jamaica, Honduras, Trinidad and Tobago, Cuba, Nicaragua, and French Guyana. And based on how the fixtures were in the previous edition of the CONCACAF Nations League, we can predict that Jamaica will play Honduras home and away, they will play Cuba at home, and they will have an away fixture versus Nicaragua. So that is great, people. We kind of can predict and see and start to, focus on these teams that we will be playing in the group stage. Definitely keep an eye on how they're doing in their World Cup qualifiers they have coming up as well, and just start to track these teams and make sure that we know what's going on with them as well, because Jamaica will not face the field and play themselves. They will have opponents, and it's always good to know what is going on with them. So yes, people, again, just going to go back to the chat and see who was following along here. I know Simon was giving a lot of info, which we were keeping up with as well. Pagan in the building. Big up yourself, Pagan. Bless up, bless up, bless up. Africans is here as well. Bless up yourself, Africans. If you haven't already, make sure to go and subscribe to his channel. A great content creator in CONCACAF. Always gets a lot of banter from the Jamaican fans, but have to give him credit for turning up and taking it, because he's willing to take it. You have to do that if you're going to dish it out, right? So respect to Africans, another one that definitely studies and follows football a lot. So big up to him. Dre Anywhere Sports, big up yourself. This man is very happy lately. Chelsea has been winning. Finally, a team of his winning some games. Lakers out. Who else you go for? Barcelona getting smashed by Girona the other day. So, Dre, I wonder if you assault up beside them or what? I don't know. But big up yourself as well, Dre. If you don't know, he also has a content channel. Give him a like, give him a share, give him a subscribe. You don't know, everybody. Just big up all the people. Them Sherman Scott, the one done from Clarendon in the building. Just like Nations League, Panama played Guatemala home and away, Martinique at home and away to Curacao. Exactly. Yeah, so the last thing I want to touch on, people, before we leave the Nations League conversation, we're about 30 minutes in, so we're making good time for what we have to do today. I just want to get your thoughts, people, on the bye that has been given to the top 4 teams in CONCACAF. Of course, that is based on the CONCACAF rankings index, people. So obviously you have USA, Mexico, Panama, Canada, and Panama, I believe, is the listing. But it's those 4 teams that have moved automatically into the quarterfinal stage. And I just want to know, is there, is this fair? Is this something that CONCACAF should be doing? I get it that maybe due to the 4 windows that are there, if you add more teams to the group stage, maybe it's even harder and you have to play even less teams in each group. So I get that some teams might need to get pushed a little bit further forward, but is it fair? Is it fair, people? What do you guys think? Could they have figured out another way to do the fixtures? Maybe add more groups instead of having such large groups with just 2, to make sure that more teams in League A have to start from the group stage? Or do you agree with just, if they have earned it, give them the chance to just get to the quarterfinals. What do you guys think as far as that is concerned? Let me know, people, because my thought on that is I'm kind of torn both ways. Like, if obviously if Jamaica would have gotten into the top 4, I would love it, because then it gives us the opportunity to perhaps in those windows play some teams that are outside CONCACAF just to get some different experience. Now, and what is difficult about that is, and I think USA, Mexico, Panama, and Canada might find this, is that those windows also have corresponding Nations League games all around the other confederations. So I don't really know how that would work. Now, CONMEBOL might be the only one that doesn't have a Nations League, but because their World Cup qualifying is such a long process, they might already be into that cycle as well, come those windows. So really and truly, where are the games going to come from? So is it good that the Reggae Boyz have these group stage games? Because it just definitely puts us in situations where we're playing games that mean something, and we're not worrying about getting good competition and good fixtures, because most of the competition you would want to play are probably playing their respective competitions around their regions as well. So I think what one thing to look at, people, when we get to these windows of September and October, let's look at who the 4 teams that aren't in the Nations League get as their opponents, because I think that will be a good marker to know whether it's good that Jamaica is in the group stage and not out of it, because we'll have a couple of tough teams to play. We'd be maybe getting games with opponents that some of our fan base might say, are these the best opponents for our friendly games? I don't know. So you have to look at it objectively and wonder, like, is it actually better that we're in the Nations League group stage? Because it guarantees that we have games and opponents that mean something. We're playing games where the coach will be getting, I guess the best preview as to what teams he would want to use in these crunch games, because these will all be crunch games. So, what are your thoughts, people, after hearing my perspective? Does it change how you think about it at all? Let me know. Ballheads TV, another one that has created a channel in the space. Big up yourself. Be careful. You can catch stray bullets based on the hair that you have or the lack of hair that you have. So just be mindful of that. Ballheads TV, big up yourself. I have subscribed to the channel, and I definitely enjoyed the content yesterday and the conversation. People, another level-headed individual that doesn't mind hearing differing opinions and having the discussion on it. So yes, I think this is somebody that you should give some time to, people. Definitely give his channel a look and see what you think. I have subscribed and I've given him some support. Not so big up yourself. Big up yourself. Simon Preston say, I forgot about Harbor View for Dre. Yes, that is true. All right, Simon says, and of course, this Nations League serves as a qualifier for the 2025 CONCACAF Gold Cup as well. Absolutely. Jerome 876, bless up yourself. Bless up. Jerome said, no, it is not fair. All right. Jean-Pierre fan, big up yourself. Thanks for being here. He says, I hate it. If the whole point of the Nations League was to give good, consistent competition for the smaller nations against the big boys, then why the buy? Yeah. Jean-Pierre fan, I don't know if that was the entire point. I think the Nations League, when you really look at it, I think it's more so geared towards the smaller nations in the CONCACAF to ensure that they are getting games that mean something, and they have the ability to promote themselves to a higher level to play the better competition in CONCACAF. I think the Nations League, it does that more so for them, because I think those were the ones that were kind of losing out in the friendlies of the world. Maybe they're the ones that have a tougher time getting those matches. So, I don't know if the true reason for the Nations League, Jean-Pierre fan, if it's fair to say that it was about getting consistent competition for the smaller nations against the big boys. That part I'm not sure about. If Nations League is supposed, then the bigger teams need to play everyone too. But Jerome, to be totally honest, what is the use of USA playing, Montserrat? That doesn't really help Montserrat, really and truly, I don't think. And no disrespect to Montserrat at the start of a nation with a smaller, history in football. Other confeds in September and October will engage in qualifiers. Yeah, the only teams that would be available to us. Yeah, and I didn't even scour the globe and check when those would be, but I know if the club football season is going on all around the windows, then clearly they would have to start their competitions up. Of course, the Euro is happening, so it won't be Euro qualifying, but they'll start World Cup qualifying. And if it's not World Cup qualifying, they have their own version of the Nations League as well. So those windows are full. Yeah, so that's my point, Simon. I am curious to see when the USA, Panama, Mexico, and USA, Panama, Mexico. Who am I not saying? Oh, Canada. When they get to those windows, who are they gonna play? Are they gonna have to play Solomon Islands? Like, what is that doing for Mexico if they play Solomon Islands? Not much. Michael Garden are going to beat YouTube. I don't know why it didn't forward through, but thanks for finding it when you did. And yeah, man, we're there talk, but I chop up some Reggae Boyz news, and we're going to have a nice exercise after this where we try to just talk about the 55-man squad and see if we can come up with some names and see how close we can get to the actual 55-man squad when it is actually dropped. Yes, it's great. Drink Studio says, okay. These games help to narrow the gap on Canada, Panama, etc., so that we can return. Exactly. Definitely the ones, we want to beat the teams that are closer to us in the rankings, because that's when you gain the most points. Not saying that beating, Cuba and Nicaragua don't garner us points, but we'll definitely get more points if we can, do the double over Honduras in the group. It's great. I'm tired of us playing only Trinidad with our domestic players. Know yourself. The domestic arm of the Reggae Boyz team has to play people at some point. So, I do agree that it seems like it has to be Trinidad every time, and I don't know why, but hey, they're doing something. Know yourself. That's better than nothing. I think it's better than what they normally do, which is play Portmore and Arnett and Mobile United and stuff. Kimo saying, love the Nations League, to be honest. Yeah, I like it too. Demo is very shocked. The wrong 12 o'clock this. Yeah, man, I working with the PM version today, not the AM version. Who knows though? I might run out again later. Change will give Grim a different perspective. Yep. Will help the team. So yes, group stage is good. All right. Africans say, I tend to agree, but I've never liked the idea of Nations League. In my opinion, the top 4 finishing teams of the previous year should get the bye to the quarters versus the CONCACAF Index. Yeah, so Africans, that is where I tend to want to agree with you. I feel like the CONCACAF, I know there's a equation and a way they come up with the index and everything. I'm not fighting the mathematics of it. I understand that. But I think, it's almost like they're trying to reinvent the wheel. If you had a competition that just ended literally in March, just use the top 4 from that as how you move forward. But again, I'm not so upset, because I do think that I would rather the structure of some Nations League fixtures than us finding games, because I don't think we would structure it as well as the CONCACAF can structure a tournament. I worry that we would not be getting the opposition that I think would do us the best in terms of preparation. So I don't mind that we have the group stage to play, just being honest. But I do respect this take right here, Africans, that they could have just easy well said, look, you guys made it to the Nations League finals. You guys have earned a bye in the next version of the Nations League. But Africans, I guess, just if I'm trying to talk from both sides here, I would think CONCACAF's rebuttal to this would be, we didn't want the Nations League or the CONCACAF rankings to only be focused around the Nations League. So they have to factor in the World Cup qualifiers and any games that the teams in the region play towards the CONCACAF index. So that's probably what they would say to this comment. For us, it's very good, more cohesion. USA don't even need to play their top players other than 2 games a year. Even Gold Cup, they use local squad. Yeah, Mr. Man, that's another thing too, you know, with us knowing how crucial, and this means, you know, Gold Cup qualifying for Nations League, it doesn't really leave the door open for us not bringing our best pool of players at all times. You know, we can't really afford not to just call up the best players every time. You know, maybe if it's a friendly window, you know, things can be a little different. You know, maybe they don't think that we need to bring in, you know, all the players that we sometimes bring in. Maybe they try to have a bigger mixture of the local base just to, you know, give them more of a chance. So I think this does kind of cut down the giving a chance stuff. You know, we have to kind of be a little more serious about the team selection. So that is a positive to this, I think. Mexico in September range friendlies versus New Zealand and Canada. So yeah, so there you go. One from the Oceania region because they don't have anything going on, and one from the CONCACAF region as well. So it's almost like they have a Nations League game, you know, again against Canada. Panama playing Catalonia. Okay, there you go. So they have gone for Catalonia probably because the quality of Catalonia is probably higher than the other opponents they could probably get in the window. So they have foregone FIFA points to play quality. So that is something there, you know, that shows you what Panama sees as important. Not necessarily the rankings and all these things. It's just I want to play and get the best challenge for my team possible. Chemo unknown, that is something that CONMEBOL's people will have to tell you. I do know that the submission of the list had to be done by May 5th. So they have it in their possession. I don't know if they plan on releasing it at any time or they're just going to keep that information for when the squad has to be released later in the month. Or you know, sometime next month, I should say. Looking at domestic camps. Okay, so USA is just going to use that time to give their players a rest who have had tough European seasons, which is not a bad thing. I mean, if you look at it, you know, some of our players, the ones in the playoffs, the ones in the Premier League, you know, pretty much all the European-based players, they play right up until about, what, the 18th? That's the last weekend for pretty much everyone. So yeah, nothing wrong with a break for June. At least the early part of June. But I think Simon is referring here to the September and October windows that are coming up. So yeah, that's another thing. I mean, they would have played the Copa America for the summer, so that will be a busy summer for the US team. So yeah, for that September October window, they're just gonna let the players stay with their clubs, their European-based players. So J-Rome, if we look at it that way, then Jamaica wouldn't be as competitive as we are now. We used to be a small team that routinely got 4, 5, and 6 from Mexico, USA, etc. Good point. Know yourself. If it was not structured like this, we'd be playing damn Trinidad again. Nations League football is best for our team. Honduras, home and away, and Nicaragua away are good games. Coach Hal Gibson gets to experience the hostile environments on Central American soil, so a new experience to garner. Very true, Simon. He has been so lucky in his competitions in CONCACAF so far. He's pretty much avoided playing in Central America. I'm trying to remember if he's played any game in Central America yet. I don't remember any. We played Honduras home. You know, the closest he would have gotten to that type of atmosphere would have been playing Mexico in the Gold Cup, because that's a basically pro-Mexico crowd in the stadium. And the Guatemala game as well in the Gold Cup quarterfinal was pro-Guatemala heavy as well. So not quite the same as playing in their nation, but at least he got a taste for the fan base. But this will be a totally different test when he's actually in their country, though, for sure. Had to improve our football to compete with those teams. If those smaller nations have the same ambition, they will do the same. Determined. Jason, do you know of any new additions to the squad? Determined, I do not know of any new additions in terms of like, you know, their papers are ready and they have a passport on the table. I don't know those things. I can only tell you about the players that I've heard spoken about in print media lately. There were a few that got some momentum leading up. Like, it's kind of cool down to talk about some of them now, but they, you know, right after the Nations League was over, you heard some talking about some players. So when we get to the 55-man squad, I will put some names down that I'm not really sure that they are ready to play for Jamaica in terms of the paperwork. I only know that they have said that they would want to play for Jamaica, and I will include those people as well. You know, obviously this will be a speculative list because I don't have all the information. I don't know some of these players and their, the people that represent them and everything. I just try to find articles, put stuff together, and that's how I kind of come to my conclusions and stuff. And I try to reach out to people that might have the information as well. True, but I've always been one to say, if you win something or perform well, reward them. Yeah, I think you can make both arguments, Oh, big up Dad, big up Dad. Dad is checking in, sneaking a look on a break from the conference. Yeah, so Daddy is in Trinidad and Tobago right now, hard at work. The CPL is fast approaching, and he has a lot of things going on as far as that is concerned. So yeah, he's in Trinidad right now. So bless him up, people. That is the original Michael Hall right there. Man who taught me a lot of what I know. If not, well, I won't say all, but a lot. Taught me a lot. Yeah. Jean-Pierre fan, that Central America experience will be vital. Absolutely. Absolutely. So, people, that was a good discussion on the Nations League. Got to get your points on, is it fair that we have these 4 teams advancing straight to the quarterfinals? Is it better that Jamaica is in the group stage? Yeah, so that was a good conversation, one that I think needed to be had. Again, I want to give kudos to the CONCACAF region, all the organizers. I think it was a great idea for League B and League C to just have a centralized location for the matches. It limit the travel for the teams, make it simplify everything for them, and yeah, we'll see how this goes, people. But we're kind of looking too far ahead. Of course, we know the Nations League doesn't start until September. But of course, in June, we have some fixtures coming up as well. The World Cup qualifiers first round gets kicked off June 6th and June 9th. Again, June 6th, we have the Dominican Republic in the National Stadium. And June 9th, we'll travel to Dominica to play them. So I think this can really be done, 2 ways, right? So, of course, in the title, I have the World Cup qualifiers, Copa America getting closer, and the 55-man squad discussion. So what I wanted to do, people, since the 55-man squad was submitted May 5th, I want to jump to the 55-man squad first. And then what I wanted to do was from that 55, try to forward with a 23 to 26, because we have to be mindful that Copa America may allow 26 players. Let's see if we can whittle that down to a 26, right? And then, last thing I want to do, people, I'm going to put an 11 on the screen, and we're going to try to pick that 11 for that first qualifier. So, right now, put on your coach's hat, your analyst hat, your scout hat, everybody in the chat. We're going to go through this together as a team, and we're going to try to come to some kind of consensus on some of these players and try to make a list. Now, of course, people, I am of the mind that some of the players that we have been looking at, we're going to get them over the line. So, there may be players in this list that some will say, boy, I don't know if they will come and all these things. We'll discuss those case by case, people, because I do think that there are some players that I believe are a lot closer in the process to being finished and ready to play. And there are others that I don't know if they are that close to getting everything sorted for this. So first and foremost, let's pull up a list of players that we can make. Let me see what's the best way for me to do this now. I should be able to just share this that I'm typing here. Bear with me, people. I'm going to get it on the screen. People bigging up Dad. Yeah, man. Simon say you worked with him on the 2010 World Cup. Yes, I remember that. He let me know that there was a young man on the program that was extremely sharp. And yes, that ended up being you, Simon. So I do remember that. Sherman Scott, big up Father Hall. Yes, everybody bigging him up. Daddy, I yell up Simon. Everybody, I bless up Simon. Ballhead, see what some good spanking can do. Big up Father Hall. Yeah, make him know them days they're done. Them days they're done. Can't do them thing there again. J. Russ, bless up, you know. I'm glad to say you forward, J. Russ. Because I know he's a person who follow a lot of the football players as well. So you will be a welcome addition to this conversation. So, all right, people. So I don't believe that I can put these notes on the screen. So let me see. Okay, yeah, I can. All right, so let me do this. So right now, I do it. All right, people. So this is what we have so far. So we're gonna write 55-man squad. And of course, we can submit anywhere from 35 to 55. But for this exercise, we're gonna do 55. So as I said, people, this is gonna be the breakdown that I came up with, and we can adjust if you think we should need to change it. But we're gonna do 5 goalkeepers. We're gonna have 18 defenders, right? 18 defenders, 18 mids, and 18 and no, sorry, not so many. 14 forwards. First and foremost, people, you like the breakdown of the numbers. You think those numbers make sense to have 18 defenders, 18 mids, 14 forwards. Of course, typically the midfielders and forwards can get a little tricky. You know, Bobby Reed, for example, midfielder, forward. You know, I saw Cephas on the last squad that we listed was a midfielder. So the midfield forward thing can, you know, those numbers can be skewed based on where you put certain people. But so what? Why it's a you can't? I mean, I understand. Hold on. Let me see something. Where did it go? Window, note, share. StreamYard is sharing a window. Okay, so are you guys seeing that? No, you're not seeing it. So why StreamYard saying it'll share the window when it not shared? I don't understand this. All right, people. Let's go and compile the list and we'll go through it together. So goalkeepers. So this is, remember, this is a 55-man squad, people. So Andre Blake suffering from injuries lately. I don't believe that the injuries are significant enough for him to be not listed in at least a squad or you know, like a general listing to see if he'll make it, because at the end of the day, if he can, he'll be there. So Andre Blake for sure will be one of the goalkeepers in the squad list submitted. Big up yourself, Pastor Blake. Yeah, man, the family, I big you up as well. So let's see. So I have Andre Blake down, people. Everybody agrees with that, I'm sure. Jamali Waite. And actually, while I'm talking about the players, people, I'm going to, because I want to make sure that we are aware of what these players have been doing lately and how their seasons have been going. So of course, with Andre Blake, we know he has been struggling a bit in and out of the team with injury. Definitely had been in the news about last week. Had a kind of cryptic message on his Instagram page where he said, you know, sometimes you just have to know when maybe things have run its course and it might be time for a change. And you know, with his contract situation right now, you know, they're actually negotiating right now to see what they're going to do. You know, I thought that the timing of that was very telling. So you know, it's tough. It's tough, you know. We'll see what will happen there. But of course, we know when it comes down to Jamaica, he is, you know, extremely dedicated. So, you know, I don't believe that any of that stuff will affect his standing with Jamaica. My main concern with him is just about his fitness at the moment. But yeah, that's basically, without pulling up Blake's stats, I know you guys probably follow Blake a bit more because he's in the MLS and things. So I want to go ahead and touch on what Jamali Waite has been doing. So as you can see, I have his transfer market profile pulled up here. He has made 8 appearances, conceded 13 goals. I think he did miss a start only because he was at the Nations League, actually. So that's why he doesn't have 100% there. So, not really the best start to the season for him or his team. They actually are struggling so far. As you can see, they've only have 2 draws accumulated in their first 9 matches. So not the best start at all for them. And as you can see, just not really scoring many goals as a team. And he has had a few games where he has conceded a bit much. So, Jamali Waite not on the best form. I want to know, people, I haven't watched many of their games, but I did watch a chunk of this one here and replay the Switchbacks game. Of course, the Switchbacks have quite a large contingent of Jamaicans as well. So I did want to watch a piece of this game. And yeah, I think his team is just not that good, if we're being totally honest. They're not really playing well at all right now. And, I think a part of why his stats look the way they do is, the team is just not functioning right now. So, I think that this coach's job is probably in trouble. If they can't turn this around in the next, I'd say 3 to 5 games, they might be looking at a coaching change, because this is really poor form to start a season. When you have played 9 games and you only have 2 draws and 7 losses, something is going desperately wrong with this team. So, Jamali Waite, while he's not on form, I'm not going to put it all down to him. I do think that his team plays a major role in what's going on with him. But we have to call a spade a spade. He's not really in the highest spirits right now as a keeper. But I think he has done enough and showed me enough in his appearances for Jamaica to say, he still belongs in at least the player pool. So I'm going to add to my list Jamali Waite. Now, the next keeper that I want to discuss and actually highlight is one that has not really been in the running or pecking order as far as Jamaican teams are concerned, but he has having a remarkable season in League Two with Crawley Town. They actually played their first leg of the playoff yesterday, and they were able to win that game with a clean sheet as well. They won that one 3-0. So that was nice of them to get off to such a flyer in that 2-leg tie to make it to the finals of the playoffs for League Two. But let's just have a look at his season in full. So here is his stats, people. 39 appearances for him. Conceded 55. And he had, I think, 8 clean sheets on the season. Yes. And I know that he's definitely a candidate for Goalkeeper of the Year in this league as well. So as you can see, apart from a short stretch here where I think he was recovering from a little niggle, he pretty much played the entire season. Did miss 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of the games though. In that little middle, towards the middle section of the season. But as you can see, been playing pretty much week in, week out. Now, of course, people will say that's League Two, not the highest level of competition. But to be totally honest, based on how I've seen some League One players and even League Two players come and perform for Jamaica, I don't think that the step to CONCACAF competition would be too much for him. One of the things that I always note with this guy, 2.03 meters. That is incredibly tall. I want to say that's about 6'8" or 6'7". So yeah, he's a giant goalie. And still good age on the player, 26 years of age. So, I think with his last 2 seasons at Crawley Town, even if his team does not get promoted to League One, I could see where this guy definitely does make a move to the step up to another level in the English league system. Definitely, I could see him keeping at League One level or even Championship level, to be honest. Definitely has the skills and the talent. And I think he has kicked on this season after a great season last season as well. So, yeah, I think he's somebody, as you can see from his clubs, he's been around, been around a little bit. Coventry started out, Barnsley FC as well, had some time there, but no game time. And then he's kind of been, Chesterfield, did go to Esbjerg as well, so he was out of England for a little while as well, and then now at Crawley Town. So, a player with a lot of experience, as you can see, played some time overseas, played some non-league in the National League. So, hasn't really gotten past that League Two level as far as the English League is concerned. But I do think at the age of 26 and with his last 2 years of performances, he's one that I think will get into a higher league soon. So let me check back in with the chat because I've been talking a bit. So R3-1 goalkeeper awards this season. Which three you're talking about? Okay. Wait, Corey, and Amal Knight. Yes, Amal Knight is a player that I was going to bring onto the screen as well at some point just to discuss. I think he's right on that cusp, but we'll see. So as of right now, people, I have down Blake and Jamali Wait. I've only talked about Corey Adai. I haven't put him on the list yet. But I do believe that based on form, based on me knowing that he's a Jamaican and has his papers as far as I know he played in the Catalonia game, which doesn't mean that he had the papers, but I want to say that he has it. I'm sure somebody will correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that he's good to go. And I think he deserves at least a look in, or at least a chance being in that 55-man pool. Wait is not in form. His team is struggling, doesn't he? But that's the reality. Yeah, and that's kind of what I said, Bravo. I won't put it all on Wait that he's just not playing well and he's down on form. I think his team, after watching them play switchbacks, they really have a lot of work to do. Something needs to change in that team. I agree there. Corey Adai should be given a look. Jean-Pierre says his coach is playing it off, but Blake has been vocal about the owner not spending enough funds. Absolutely. That's one of the main reasons why he thinks he wants to leave now. He doesn't think that he thinks the team basically wasted its window to win a championship. He's looking at the team now, and some of the guys are aging out when it comes to him. Obviously, what's the captain's name that used to play for the US? I can't remember his name right now, but he's been there forever as well. He's pretty much 35, 36. And then when he looks at the players coming through now, the Quinn Sullivans, the McGlynns, he has that younger age group coming through, but a lot of the players that were doing their thing for Philly have moved on. And he just doesn't think that they have done enough to, No, man, it's not. Yeah. Alejandro Bedoya. Thank you. That's what I was thinking of. Wait, is at the wrong team. Yeah, I was surprised that he left the team he was at because obviously it wasn't his choice. I think that, his contract ran out and he had to go to another team. But I was surprised they didn't keep him because he was nominated for Player of the Season. I don't know if he ended up winning it, but he was. I want to say he was Championship Goalie of the Season as well. So yeah, I think all three of our guys won, as he said. Blake won the MLS. Wait won the championship, and I don't think Amal Knight won goalkeeper of League One though. I think he won player of the season for his club though. Yeah, the US leagues is always weird though when it comes on to player movement. It's a little different than the European style, so I would have to talk to his agent and see how that really played out, because sometimes it's not even on the agent or the player, it's just the league does a madness, because it's the franchise business. Knight seems to be doing okay from his stats, but Adai has more playing time. So would you go with him? Yeah, honestly, I think when you look at Corey Adai, his age profile, and I think some people will look at it and say, boy, it's League Two, that's not really the biggest league or whatever. And I get that. But, let's just compare the players then, right? So we've seen the age profile. We've seen what he's been doing this year and last. Let's look at Amal Knight now. So Amal Knight plays for Lexington SC now in USL League One. Second season there. He has played a total of 5 games, conceded 5 goals, and has 2 clean sheets out of 5. So, not bad at all there. And he is 30 years of age. So has, 4 years the senior of Corey Adai. Not 30 is not anything to be scared of as a goalkeeper. He probably has at least a good, 6, 7, 8 more years. Pretty much keepers can keep as long as they really wish, to be honest. But when you look at it, I personally, more than likely, I would say, when you look at the 2 keepers that have been kind of the first and second choice, that would be Blake and Wait. Blake is, at 33, 34 almost, and Waite is a bit younger. I like the idea of having the third string keeper be somebody that you see as a successor down the road. And for me, Amal Knight, at his age, I think he's worth a looking in maybe the 55-man pool, but when it gets down to the 23, where you get down to the three keepers, or the 26 when you get down to the three keepers, I think he just misses out for me personally. And it's nothing against the player. He's always done well when he represents Jamaica, as far as I'm concerned. I know some people will say that some people have PTSD from the goal we conceded against Suriname in the Nations League, but they forget that he stopped numerous other goals in that game as well. So, good servant to the Reggae Boyz, player that I rate. Think he's very level-headed, well-spoken as well. Heard his interviews, always says some good things. But yeah, me personally, I think he's just outside that top 3 to get picked into the final squad. But I would say definitely worth a look for the pool of players. So I have so far Andre Blake, Jamali Waite, Corey Adai, and I'm going to add Amal Knight as well. Now that's 4 keepers, and I said we were going to do 5 total for this. So I think we have to maybe, first and foremost, are there any other players playing overseas in the goalkeeper pool that I might be not thinking about or talking about? I know one for sure is Kanaya Boyce Clark, who has been in our squads of late whenever he's fit. So let me check in on Kanaya and see how his season has been going. Definitely coming to a close now. He is now 21 years of age, people. Still at Reading, as you can see, but did spend some time. No, he's been at Reading this season, and the bulk of his appearances, it looks like, have come in the well, not even the EFL Trophy. He did have 2 appearances in the EFL Cup, which is good. That's a professional setting right there. Played two games, and one of them was a clean sheet. And he also has been having quite a stretch lately in the PL2. So let's take a look at the PL2 stats and kind of see when he started playing. So I know played a game early in the season in August, also played in January and February a couple of games, and since April pretty much has been starting leading into the PL2 playoffs, playing 90 minutes in those games. So going into this season, I had hopes that he could secure that second string with the first team, but he hasn't really been able to do so this season. So for me, it's kind of been I don't want to say a stagnated year from him, but as you can see, early in the season, I had high hopes. He was getting that bench spot in the first team, not really getting the minutes, which some would say is kind of not the best for development anyway. And then as you can see, that pink means he wasn't in the squad at all. So he went through a long stretch not making the bench for that Reading first team. Did make 1 spot bench appearance in March, but pretty much has been a PL2 player this season for the most part. So knowing that Kanaya Boyce Clark did make squads before, not really playing for Reading's first team that much, playing mainly PL2 as well. Do we still call him and continue that that rite of passage for him just getting into teams? And I know he did suffer some injuries this season as well, which kind of hurt his standing in the team. But we have to call a spade a spade. He hasn't really kicked on this season as far as the first team is concerned. But definitely a player that has a lot of quality and a huge upside and ceiling. So for me, the way I see it in these squads, it doesn't hurt to have your third goalkeeper be someone that, yes, that if he has to play, you trust him. But I think it should be a look to the future for that third spot, so he can get that experience, kind of learn off of the ones who have been there, done that before, and he'll have a great teacher in Andre Blake, and also somebody else in Jamali Waite as well, or even Corey Adai if he's chosen as the second string keeper, somebody professional that has been doing it for a few years as well at a bit of a higher level in terms of the professional, the age of their opponents and all those things. So Kanaya Boys Clark people, let me see how the chat feels about this. I think he makes my pool again, especially there were some times where he wasn't making the pool, and I think that was down to him being injured. So now that he's fully fit playing again, I'm gonna say Kanaya is in my list of 5 goalkeepers. So right now I have Andre Blake, Jamali Wade, Corey Adai, Amal Knight, and Kanaya Boys Clark. I want to say though, people, let me look at the chat and see if anyone put any other overseas based players in this listing. Big up yourself, JT. Respect for being here. Sports Prophecy TV people, check out the channel, get a like and a subscribe as well. Yeah man, we'll go through some names. Boys Clark, everybody saying Boys Clark. Yep. Jamaica and Gooner, big up yourself, bro. Yeah man, respect for being here, brother. There are some potential players like True Grant. Not sure if he has been contacted players in month. Yeah, True Grant is a player that I know is eligible to play for us. I feel like True Grant, I'm hoping that True Grant can be selected for the U20. I think that would be awesome if he could play for us there. Not sure if he jumps over so many people to get into this team currently, but definitely one for the future. Definitely. Yes, I did mention the injury. Know yourself. Absolutely. So D Madre saying must go. All right. What about the other guy? I don't remember his name. Which other guy? Brando said boys in. All right. So right now, people, as I said, I have 5 goalkeepers already listed. So I have Andre Blake, Jamali Wade, Corey Adai, Amal Knight, and Kanaya Boys Clark. Now, I keep saying overseas based, but I do believe that there are 2 goalkeepers in Jamaica that deserve to be discussed, right? One of them is a bit older, Kemar Foster, and the other one is I think a better age profile if we're discussing that 3rd goalkeeper spot, and that would be Shaquan Davis. Now, Kemar Foster for me, somebody that I don't think I gave enough credit in the past. But I must say, really diving into some JPL matches this season and paying attention to you're talking about the one who they say is a modeler, Dylan Barnes. Yeah, Dylan Barnes. I think Dylan Barnes is now playing Land League football, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, so here's Dylan Barnes, people. Let me see. So he's at Haringi. And I don't even think that I have much info on him for this club. But he's currently at this club right here. Haringi Borough FC. And I'm trying to see. So yeah, this is not even listed as far as what kind of games this team plays or anything. It must be. I'm wondering if it's even National League, because I don't even see what league it is, like what league it plays. It doesn't say. It does not say. But yeah, Dylan Barnes, I mean, he had potential, but his career just hasn't really gone the right way. And I don't really think we can warrant putting somebody in the team. I don't think it works. Yeah, I don't think it works, people, to be honest. I'm gonna be honest. I mean, I don't think we can really draw for Dylan Barnes right now. Yeah, so Dylan Barnes, I don't think he would make my listing right now. Oh, Barnes has retired. Oh wow, okay. Well, that makes sense because I didn't see it says listed playing for that team, but that team don't play any games, or at least transfer market don't know about the games. Yeah, it don't look like nothing go on for him, J. Ross. I know him did go to a National League team, that team there, but I hadn't heard anything about it at all. Nothing at all. Know yourself say you should continue modeling. Well, yeah, him can make money modeling, you know. So now, yeah, man, go feed. Go feed. Nothing wrong. All right. So as I said, people, the two local based keepers that I think deserve a mention and a talk about is Kemar Foster and Shaquan Davis. Now, of course, Kemar Foster is a bit more experienced. I won't say he's older. He has a lot more experience. But it's not so bad, people. He's 31 years of age currently. He will be 32 in August. And yeah, shout out to Transfer Market for having the stats from JPL up. That is wonderful. So he did very well this season, people. 9 clean sheets out of 24 games. Yeah, just a solid player. Having some good performances as well in the playoffs so far. One of the reasons why I think Waterhouse still have an outside chance to pull the upset is definitely this gentleman right here, Kemar Foster. So if I'm being honest, people, I've always leaned on the youthful choice when it comes on to adding a third string keeper. But if we're being totally honest, people, I do think that Kemar Foster is a better goalkeeper than Shaquan Davis right now. If we're talking right now, today, God forbid, the two keeper them get some injury and the third string keeper have to play, I think I trust Kemar Foster right now more than I trust Shaquan Davis. So for that reason, people, and also you have to factor in, Andre Blake has been up and down with his injuries lately. So let's say we go to this first game in June and, God forbid Andre is picked, but, just can't give us enough to start the game. Wait starts, something happens to him and then the third keeper has to play. I that's a crazy scenario. It might not ever happen. But if I'm the coach, I'm thinking that way instead, right? So with all that being said, people, we're not picking the team yet. We're just picking the 5. But for me, Jean-Pierre fan said Davis' ceiling is higher, and the coach did like his ability with his feet. Yeah, that's true. I mean, Davis, I think Foster is just as good with his feet. He just might not have the long ball accuracy because Davis, that's one thing we noticed with him. When he ping a ball, it really get ping, Foster don't quite have that drive on him long pass like that, but Foster, I think, he's a little bit calmer in possession as well. Him don't really, Shaquan Davis looks a little more rushed when him get the ball at his feet right now. So Sports Prophecy said would be stupid to fly in a third string keeper. Okay. Well, they have done so before. Boyce Clark has been the third string before. So, I don't know if it was stupid then, but I hope that we can get past the days where we're trying to pick squads based on airfare budget. Let's just pick the best or the team that we think will give us the best chance to win. I hope we can get to that point. Yeah, that's my hope. So yeah, I think as far as the pool is concerned, right? So does anyone object to me taking Amal Knight out of it? Right. So if we do the 5 goalkeepers like I thought, I would be going this way. Andre Blake, Jamali Waite, Kanaya Boyce Clark, Corey Adai, and for me, my 5th keeper would be Kemar Foster. Okay? That would be my 5th keeper as of right now. Honorable mention for these keepers of the 5, I would say definitely would be Amal Knight and Shaquan Davis. But let me take that last one. All right. So between Foster and Davis, people, just tell me one name, and I will actually put who you say, right? J. Ross said I'd put Corey over Boyce Clark. Well, J. Ross, true, we added the 55-man squad, and the breakdown is 5 goalkeepers. I think there's space for both of them in the 55-man squad, right? In the pool. So, Jason, that would be a bad look for the local game to fly in a third string keeper when Jamaica has always produced good keepers over the years. Yeah. I don't know if it's a bad look. Well, I guess you could take it that way, right? You could take it that way. But I don't know. I, I don't know if it's so much an indictment on the local game as much as just realizing that maybe the pool of players is more vast now. Because I do honestly believe that at the time when you're referring to when we produce a lot of good keepers, we weren't really looking overseas for goalkeepers ever. You know, as a matter of fact, like it's like Boyce Clark would have been one of the first, at least so young, to come. And as unstoppable, yeah, this as well. Like, who cares? You know, don't get in your feelings. Let's just pick the team with no thoughts about local this, that. Let's just pick the team. Yeah. Who cares? Knight is around our best keeper after Blake. Well, that's your opinion, football guru. I disagree. I disagree there. I think Wait is actually better than Knight. I think Wait is a little better than Knight for sure. I think Wait is really good with his feet. I think Wait commands the box a little bit better as well. He's not as tall as Knight is, but I still think he's better in the air than Knight is. And he's a good shot stopper as well. So, you know, and again, anytime we do this, it's gonna come down to opinion, people. Nobody here has the correct answer. That's why I say I wanted to work off consensus more than anything. That's like Jamaica importing sunshine and rainwater. No, but all right, let's be honest with yourself now, JT. The keepers that you refer to, which one? I mean, we have Donovan Ricketts, who did play in England and play in the MLS. We have Andre Blake, who has been the most, the MLS goalkeeper of the year the most times in the history of the league, right? Warren Barrett, to my knowledge, didn't play overseas in any leagues. Aaron Lawrence might have had a stint somewhere, but I want to say that was cut short because we had the program where the players came home and, you know, they were getting paid to actually stay in Jamaica and play with the Reggae Boyz. So, football guru, I watched Knight play 2 weeks ago, maybe. Because his teammate is a friend of mine, cousin. Actually can play for Jamaica as well, the right back of that team, football guru. Christian Young. He plays with Knight. So I watch Knight play at least 3-4 games this season because I follow my family friend who play for the team, right? So yeah, so I can't say me try push players in the team because me have a brother who play right back in USL League One with Knight, and you know, I would love to see that brother get a chance because he's an intelligent player. He was playing in USL League One, so people probably, you know, wouldn't give him the time of day as far as a player, because obviously we have players from all over the world coming in. So, you know, maybe them would fight that out. But trust me, people, the youth can play. Christian Lou Young, people. So, football guru, next time you watch them, tell me what you think about the right back, please. And football guru, you should know better, bro. I actually do watch football games, bro. Or maybe you just don't know. So I will prove to you that I watch games. I won't talk. I will be about it. I won't talk about it. Yeah, man, know yourself. Let them know if you like up the video and stop playing. All right, so me not see nobody vote pan Foster or Davis for that last spot in the keeper pool. So me just I'll go with what me did say. And regardless, obviously, the age war, Shakwan definitely win that. But I think right now, Kemar Foster is better than him right now. And we should just put the best one in there. So Kemar Foster for me as the goalkeeper, as the 5th spot. So Jean-Pierre fan, drop a Davis vote. All right, so I'll give you a 2 minutes, people. Foster or Davis? Foster or Davis? Foster or Davis? Football guru said neither. Or, well, I don't know if him said neither, but him said Knight need to be in the pool too. And football guru, right now I have Andre Blake, Jamali Waite, Corey Adai, and Kanaya Boyce Clark. And I'm going to put either Foster or Davis. So you want me to remove somebody and put Knight as well? Or don't bother with Foster or Davis and just put Knight? Let me know. I want to know what you think, football guru. All right, let me get this off the screen. I don't know what this. All right, people. So that is pretty much the discussion with the goalkeepers. I will make the final adjustment once I see the chat change a little bit. So let's go now. Let me take this off the screen for a second. Let's go now to the defenders. So Davis will go. You're not likely to play. So I chose the youngster for the experience. Fear. I just did come up with a mad scenario and say, boy, everybody injure. This man get yellow card, suspend, and this and that, and the man have to play. So that might not happen still. Unless it's somebody with a lot of experience like Knight, there aren't any player in the USL League One who can make our squad. Okay. So a lot of experience. What you call a lot of experience, football guru? Because it's 12 game night play for Jamaica, you know. That's a lot of experience. Let me know. Are you just referring to like his age and how many games in play for Harborview and those things? Because I wouldn't say he's that experienced internationally, to be honest. All right, so we'll go to the defenders, people. So obviously with the defenders, I have gone for 18 in total. So that means we have to break it up. CBs, right backs, left backs. So if there's 18 of them people, I'm thinking maybe 8 CBs in the pool and 5 and 5. How that sound? 8 center backs, 5 right backs, and 5 left backs. Should be able to do that, right? 8 center backs, 5 right backs, 5 left backs. Oh, I agree. For the purpose of this exercise, I am going to list Latibo there as a defender, because that's where I would like him to play. Yeah, I'm going to list him as a defender. All right, so obviously, as we make this 55-man pool, the first set of names shouldn't be too difficult, right? So center backs people will just start right away. Ethan Pinnock, Michael Hector, Joel Latibodier, Damian Lowe, Deshaun Bernard, all right, so everybody should agree on those 5 names. Whether you want to list Lowe and Latibodier as midfielders, whatever, that's fine. They're going to be on the 55-man pool. So those 5, pretty much, you know, they will be a part of that center-back pool. And as I said, I'm going to go with 8 center-backs to make up the numbers, because we're going to go with 18 defenders total. 5 right-backs, 5 left-backs. We're going to 8 center-backs, right? So Ethan Pinnock, Michael Hector, Joel Latibodier, Damian Lowe, Deshaun Bernard. Those are the 5 that I think everybody in planet Earth that watch Reggae Boyz would probably agree with, right? Well, let me check, because Football Guru might be a contrarian and say something else. D. Madre caught up in the position semantics. Don't worry about it, man. Damian Lowe is in the 55-man pool. For purposes of getting the numbers that I have presented, I have put him and Latibo there as defenders, okay? I know they might not play there when the team start to play, but that's fine. There are defenders in this list. All right. So I'm at 5 people, and now I believe this is where the debate will begin. Who are some other players that you would like to see make this 55-man pool as far as central defenders? Remember, we're just talking about central defenders right now, right? Center backs. So give me some names, people. Give me some names. Center backs, people. Center backs. Are those 5 center back we have? Can look on. Just 5? I don't think that is the truth. Let's see. Alvas Powell as a centre back? Or you want me to add him to the right backs? Let me know. We have 5 centre backs, and I'm trying to get 3 more. 3 more centre backs. All right. If we're looking at previous teams, you know, Richard King has been making the squads lately. Does Richard King make the 55-man pool for everybody? Let me know. Let me know. Does Richard King make the 55-man pool? Just didn't want to waste a defender spot if we could put him in midfield. Yeah. I mean, you see, I think what happens, Demo, when we get to the midfield spots and we're picking, like, you know, holding mids as opposed to boxes or whatever, maybe we go light on the holding mids, knowing that we have Low and Latibo there listed as defenders. So it just kind of change who you pick as your midfielders, instead of trying to, like, you know, force them into midfield on the list just to get more center backs. Because remember, these guys can play center backs, so you don't want to full up with more center backs knowing that you have them as well, and vice versa with the midfielders, you know. So it just depends on. That's why I say it doesn't really matter where we put them. We know it will affect how we pick the rest of the team, though. So if you have Latibo there and Low listed as center backs, and you know they can both play center defensive midfield as well, when we're picking those midfielders now, maybe you go a little lighter in that spot, knowing that you have some cover with one of them or both of them. Andre Watkins said Daniel Byrne. Boy, Watkins, I don't know if Dan Byrne is sorted out to play for us, but yeah, I would take Dan Byrne. Why not? Dan Byrne been looking like a cone in some games this season, though, if we're being honest. But he's a Premier League player, so you know he has quality. Dan Byrne. I believe that I don't think that Dan Byrne makes sense to put in the pool, just because, you know, even though we know that he has heritage, we don't know of any contact, or we don't know of anything about that. So Alvas, center back, he plays in a back three sometimes for his club. As you get older, you players like Alvas are better at center back. Well, Alvas started as a center back, so I know him as a center back as a youth, and then he eventually moved to right back. So I know he has the quality to play there, or not the quality, but he has the characteristics to play there. But you know, Alvas Powell, I would think I would still be putting him as a potential right back. But in that back three system that we did play in the Nations League finals, Alvas Powell could play on the right side of the three or at right back. But lately, to be honest, you know, Guru, his appearances for his club have been coming more in a right midfield role, to be honest. You know, he's only played what? He's had 2 starts and made 3 sub appearances. And in the 2 starts, you know, in the 3-4-3 they play, he's playing right midfield. I mean, that's what they list him as. Now it could be right midfield / right wing back, depending on how you want to say it. But he has been playing a more attacking role. So it's interesting that you want to put him at centre back for Jamaica when his club team has actually put him further away from defending now, lately. You know, he hasn't played in that back three this season at all. So, you know, that's interesting, Guru, that you said that. But I will leave off players who I don't know to have passports, but I will never say that they aren't committed or they don't want to play for Jamaica. Football Guru do not say that. Most of the time, you don't even know this, and you're saying this. Jamal Lascelles. Watkis, are you a Newcastle fan? Are you a Newcastle fan, Watkis? Let me know. Got 2 Newcastle baller you send. But Jamal Lascelles, can he can play for Jamaica? I don't think Lascelles is from Jamaica. Isn't he from somewhere else? Another island like Barbados or something. Yeah, Barbados. That's what I thought. I didn't think he could play for Jamaica. Well, maybe somebody in his family is also Jamaican. I don't know, but I always thought his connection was Bajan to the Caribbean. Mm-hmm. Jeremiah, nobody go down the road, there, brother. That just the committed word have to come up whenever this conversation is had. I don't know why, but yeah. We say I'm too old. Yeah, perhaps we are not short on CBs. Boy, Jerome, I thought we weren't short on CBs, you know, but we reached 5. I'm gonna hear nobody say anything. The only other name I say past the 5 is Richard King. I mean, I see nobody say that shouldn't happen. So I'm gonna put Richard King. All right. So that's 6. Do we have 2 more center backs we can call? Let me know, people. Do we have 2 more center backs we can call? Because I don't agree. Who is what? Deshaun Brown? Doesn't that brother play forward? Doesn't Deshaun Brown play forward though? If it's the same Deshaun Brown from way back, Alvas is versatile. I would even use him as a defensive mid with our midfield situation and his experience. Football Guru, though, I would more be willing to put him there than centre back, to be honest. I could agree with that more. Yeah, my figure said the wrong name because Deshaun Brown used to play forward, and I don't think him still a play. If him still a play, him supposed to well old now. In my world, if you're committed to play for Jamaica, you make it known and you get your passport. The begging doesn't work. Football Guru, but the problem, you know, people make it known and get them passport, and we still not call them. So you can't. It's not just about that at the end of the day. But this. At least this is an explanation to your thoughts. I appreciate this, Football Guru. That's okay. But when you just come out and say things, you know, put the context to it too, please. Yeah, Wes Harding lately has been playing CB more than right back, but to be honest, Wes Harding lately hasn't been playing. That's the only problem. I mean, he's in the same boat as what's his name? Daniel Johnson with his club. The man started out the season playing every single game, and let me put it back on the screen so you guys can see it. So this is Wes Harding's transfer market profile right now, people. So this, if you had checked this about up until maybe November, December time, you would have seen about 90% starting 11 and 90% minutes. But this man, it was like a tale of 2 seasons, bro. So from this game in October all the way to basically middle of February, he was pretty much starting and playing 90 minutes every game at CB. Every single game. And then he got benched after this performance. He got pulled at halftime in this game. I remember. Ipswich gave them 4-0. And this was actually around the time when Omari started his mad run of form. Because I think Omari actually scored in this game. No, he never scored. But he had an assist, yeah. So he get an assist in this game. But this game right here, as you can see, Wes Harding was playing in the back 3, had an own goal in the first half, and the coach subbed him off. And from this game, brother, the coach dashed him away. So this is what, February the 14th? From this time all the way till the end of the season. Sometimes I'm not even on the bench, not even in the squad. And he was on the bench all through the season and don't get another game. So form-wise, it's tough because this man has been on form in the past and never get a look in. Never get a look in. But for me, 27 years of age, center back, and can cover the right back spot as well. As you can see, this is showing you positions played this season. So he's only played center back in the back 3 this season. So what do you think, people? I mean, still worth 1.2 million on the market. solid quality player at the championship level. Hoping that he gets a move from this club, because clearly the coach is not dealing with him right now. Contract does expire in June, so he's a free agent and can go somewhere else. So hopefully another championship team want to pick him up. I think he can add something to, pretty much any level of the championship. Because when he's on farm, he's a very good player, very solid player. Hard working, decent touch for his size as well. Can play in tight spaces as well. So look, I think he's a player that has gotten a bad rap for Jamaica. I think he was one of the main scapegoats in that 3-0 Panama loss, whether rightly or wrongly. But since I am at 6 names and my 6th name was Richard King, I see no reason not to put Wes Harding as the 7th name in this list. And I actually am purposely putting him in the centre-back pool, because I do think that, similar to what Guru was saying about Alvas, this is a player that looks to be really transitioning to that spot of the pitch and getting away from that right back, up and down the wing type of role. Definitely more bunkered in as the centre-back. In a 3 or a 4, I think he could play centre-back, to be honest, but probably better off if he's in a 3. Yeah, man, Deshaun Bernard is there already. Jason thought you were on some late night time slot. Lee Young, typically, but today I did have some time. I've been meaning to talk about in detail some Reggae Boyz stuff, and I talked about the Nations League already, and we're just going to the prospective 55-man squad that will be submitted, which was submitted, but yeah. All right, so far, Lansley, these are the 6 I have. Ethan Pinnock, Michael Hector, Joel Latibodair, Damian Lowe, Deshaun Bernard, Richard King, Wes Harding. So that is 7 actually. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So really, we're just looking for one more centre-back name. Oh, he's not a Newcastle fan. Got you. Which good player I want to be able to make with everything in order? We aren't calling them. Well, good is subjective, Football Guru, but there have been many players. Malik Madasil, Kean Edwards, with shorter midfielders and right backs at times, and we don't call back Brandon Cover. Moore didn't retire. He's at Northampton Town now, but he didn't really kick on this season when he got there as he would have liked. I don't think that he fully recovered. I mean, yes, he recovered enough to play, but let me show you what he did since he's been at Northampton Town. So he did have 8 appearances. Did start, I think, 4 games, 5 games he started, but this Port Vale game, he had to come off at halftime, and he hasn't been back in the squad to end the season. So, he did get 8 appearances towards the end of the season, was signed pretty much like a couple of days before this first game on the 13th year that he was on the team. And yeah, as you can see, had some sub appearances at first against Peterborough, came on at halftime and looked, decent in that half, which got him a start in the next game, in the next four games. And then he did miss a game against Reading and then played Port Vale for 45 minutes before subbing off at halftime. So, look, 31 years of age, rough spell with injuries over the past couple of years. I don't know, man. I don't know if, very quality player. Can't go around the quality. I just don't know what version of Liam Moore we'd be getting currently. So I don't think I would include him in the 55-man pool, just being totally honest, people. Something is going on with West. Made a bad mistake. Agree. The coach just killed him for that mistake. That's my issue, Jerome. I'm not sure if you can justify King's selection, the same can be done for Wes Harding. Fair. And to be honest, I never really justified King's selection, The only justification I kind of said was, he's been in the squads lately. And if we're talking about a pool and not a squad, I don't really see how King would drop out of the pool. It wouldn't make sense. Is King the best in JPL? No. He's definitely up there. He's definitely up there. Cavalier have one of the stingiest defense. He's up there. I think Stephen Young is good as well from Portmore. I think Kyle Ming is pretty good as well. The only issue that I have with Ming is it seems like he plays centre back for Cavalier, but we always want him to play right back when he plays for Jamaica. So I'm a bit confused as to what his best position is at the international level. But yeah, King is definitely up there as far as centre backs go in the league right now, as far as I'm concerned. Yeah, I don't really see one at Waterhouse that I would think is would require getting in this pool. Mount Pleasant, Topi has fallen out of favor. Ladale Richie is my age. Who else? Russell looked good at centre back in his 2 games against Arnett, but I know he's really a left back by trade. I have a lot of time for the Arnett guy, Cunningham, who went overseas. Left-footed as well, which always helps. I know Shavani Willis is doing well right now, but I don't think he gets, I don't think he gets into this pool. We say Moore is your 8th. Yeah, I'm struggling to find another one to put in there, to be honest. That I'm like, have conviction about. Is there any young centre backs that I'm not remembering that we could maybe give a talk to? I don't think Badley Morgan has really been fit this season at all. About some other players that played U20 maybe. Check Luke Badley Morgan. So played some National League and played some PL2, but looks like he's been injured since about February. So Badley Morgan just can't have no luck with him injuries. None at all. Looks like when he was at the National League level, played every game while he was there on loan. But looks like he picked up an injury in February and hasn't been seen since. So Badley Morgan is not available. Any other players? Yeah, I mean, the only thing about Blake is, I guess he could be in the pool just in case. But I don't know if he did himself any favors with the qualifiers he just played. That's the only thing. Yeah, Romain Blake, yeah. Blake is good, but I think he will suffer from height. Tapa start is chopping and changing in Mount Pleasant. Yeah, man. Well, Mount Pleasant have a 55-man squad, so him have to do it, Nobody is sure that Mother still has his papers in order to want to play for Jamaica. He's similar to Kadamar Terry, with people speculating he didn't really want to play. No, that's not true. No, I have never seen Kadamar Terry say he wants to play for Jamaica anywhere with his own mouth. I can only base it off of the fact that he has his paperwork and everything and it's done. And that has been reported by numerous outlets. Now, Mothersill, I have heard him say in print, quotations, that he wants to play for Jamaica. And this was like when he was still at Chelsea. So if he was starting the process and wanting to play from then, this is like 2 years later now he's at Peterborough. So I would be shocked if he doesn't have all of that sorted out already. But my thing, Football Guru, why is it that your default stance is them don't have it, or them don't want it, or whatever? That shouldn't be a default stance. You should be more open-minded about it. That's the only thing I don't understand. Like, why is it so them don't want to play? Like, no. I'd allow more to improve his match fitness and carry the best JPL, since I don't know of anyone getting documentary recently. Okay, fair. Yeah, Romania. Thank you. See, me not even remember the interview with Simon do with the man. So thank you. Me did that just based off of articles me did read. I'm see it in quotation what him say. I don't see the bad game you guys are talking about from Blake. I thought he was one of our better players in the U20s. Yeah, well, that's why these programs are that's why these programs have banter and discussion, because we're not going to all see the game the same. I thought he was underwhelming in the U20 qualifiers personally. That he took too many liberties on the ball. I don't know. I wish he was more assured. I didn't feel like when he had it that we were safe. It just looked like he was so close to losing the ball so many times, and did lose the ball from time to time as well. So yeah, I thought he was actually better in the previous version of the U20 when he was younger. So I mean, but that was my take on it. But all right, look, I can't find in my mind right now another center back to put in this list, right? So I am gonna go with another local-based center back, and I think that Stephen Young deserves another look in. One of the hardest working players I've seen in the JPL, a player that looks like to really keep himself in top physical condition, and is just a fighter, And one thing that I will say, when I first saw him playing for Jamaica in the competition where we sent some under 23 players, I think that team had like Ronaldo Webster. Who else was in that team? I think Kenroy Campbell might have been on that team as well. Jashan Anglin, Brandon Cover went as well. I thought that Stephen Young really did well in that competition. The one thing that I was worried about was his tackling, how he goes into challenges. But I will say from watching the 2 quarterfinal games, it's something that I see him working on. I don't see him going to ground as frequently. Still plays rough and will throw his weight around and stuff, but I didn't see him, bailing out and going to ground as frequently. He did have one crazy challenge in the 2 fixtures that I remember. That was debatable, did scissor the player and everything, but I think that was brewing between him and the player for a little while, so I won't beat him too bad on that. I did see some improvement in the decision when to go to ground, when not to go to ground, so that's good that he's kind of developing a little bit better. So I would give a guy from Jamaica at least a chance to be in the pool, to know, okay, if I keep working hard, I can make the final squad. Whether he makes the final team or not, I think is probably not going to happen, but Stephen Young, I think, should get that recognition to be in the pool, just to say, okay, we're tracking you, we're seeing that you're making some improvements, and you're one that we're keeping our eye on, Yeah. My default stance is, if you want to play for Jamaica, you have to commit your mind and body. It takes a deep desire, or it will show on the field. I have seen it time after times. Football Guru, I don't believe what you're saying is true in terms of you seeing it time after time, that man not committed with their mind and body. If a man put on the jersey, fly from which part he must fly from, leave him family them, leave everything, and come and play for Jamaica, I don't need to see anything else. I'm not going to scrutinize whether the man run back. The man is playing in the game. Obviously, the man want to be there to play in the game, or else he wouldn't be there. So it's amazing to me that man can still represent Jamaica, and people say them no want to represent Jamaica. It don't make no sense. None at all. Mothersill made this statement before his 18th birthday. He's now 20. Simon, Devon, Ian Campbell has not answered my questions to them on it. Well, Lance, I don't know if you know, but I know that those 3 names you just put in there have made a concerted effort lately to not speak on matters until they are completely finalized. And not only that, to not speak on matters until the players are in the teams. Because there have been times in the past, and players in the past, that may have had their heads turned one way or the other due to us bringing out information maybe before we needed to. So we're trying to avoid that moving forward, is it? All right, so I've spent a lot of time on the center backs. Hopefully we don't spend so long on every position. So the next one I want to talk about, people, is the right back position. All right, so this is an area that we have had some issues lately in terms of, maybe players not being fit when we make the call-ups, people being underwhelmed by some of the performances by the right backs we call up. But I am just going to say that for me, the right back area of this team is one that I don't think we have truly nailed down all the spots. I will say that we have some players that can operate in that area in this 55-man pool already. Joel Latibo there potentially could play out there. So could Deshaun Bernard, honestly, in a back four if he's the right back. Richard King could play out there. I mean, you wouldn't ideally want to do that, but they could. And of course, Wes Harding could as well. But for the right backs, of course, first and foremost, we got to go with Big Dex, right? Dexter Lembikisa definitely will be in the pool and probably in the squad for sure. Now, another right back that has been making squads lately is Tavon Gray. But I just want to pull up on the screen and show people what he's been up to since this season has started, people. So Tavon Gray, I've been pulled up here. So let me go back and get this on screen for you, because we don't like to just chat about these things. We want to sometimes put it up and give you a synopsis and a snapshot on what the player has been up to. So here is Tavon Gray. We're at 1.5 million euros, people. So we have some players worth some money, 21 years of age. And as you can see, has not been starting much this season, playing the right back role. Did have a bit of injury issues to start the season. That's why he wasn't really getting the starting time. Did get a few starts in a row here with Miami and Atlanta, and then had 3 straight games where he was just on the bench and didn't play. And then most recently this past weekend did come on and play 35 minutes against Colorado. So not the best start to the season for him, especially for somebody who has been a perennial starter for this team. When he was 20, even when he was 19, he was starting for this team. So, is this really the best form to start the season for him? I know he had a bit of injury issues, but, he hasn't been injured lately. And he definitely has just been, not in the coach's eyes for these 3 games. And it has correlated with them winning them. So, that's not a good sign. You got more game time again, they lose again. So, Tavon Gray, I don't think he has really stamped his place in this team in the chances that he's gotten so far. But I will say for continuity and the age he has, I probably would keep him around for the pool. Now, when we get down to the nitty-gritty of picking the 26 or whatever the case is, he's one of those that will be right there on that cusp or on that edge. I'm not sure if he makes it. You know what I'm saying? So I will say, though, for the pool purposes, because we're going to pick 5 right backs, I think he has to be in one of those 5, right? So Tavon Gray. Now, the next one, of course, is also in the MLS that has been getting picked in some squads recently. Did miss the most recent one for the Nations League, though, and that is Javain Brown. So Javain Brown, people, has 6 appearances on the season. He also has been making some from the bench and some from the starting lineup. As you can see, in the 6 games, he did start 3 of them, and actually got a spot in the right midfield this time. Sometimes when they play that back 3, he's not really pushed up high and would play the right center back role, but looks like he has played 2 games at right midfield and 1 game at the center back position to start the season. Has had his run of games where he hasn't seen the field as well. So that's not a good sign, people. So, both of these right backs, Javain a bit older now, 25, but still young. But I don't love that they're not starting. I don't love that him or Tavon Gray can't nail down a starting place. That's not really, really a good sign. But I think, based on them having history with this team, I don't think that we're gonna see, wholesale changes to this pool. So I think Tavon Gray, Dexter, and Javain will be there. Now, for me, the last 2 spots are the ones that are gonna get interesting. So, let's just talk about some names that could potentially be up for these couple spots in the pool. So one name that definitely springs to mind is let's see. One name that springs to mind, and this might give some folks PTSD, but honestly, of the 2 players in the MLS that I've spoken about so far, I think this one actually might be the one that has been getting the most game time, and also the one that might be best suited to this right wing back role out of the players, and that is Alvas Powell. Now, Alvas Powell, of course, not the Jamaican fans' biggest cup of tea, if we're being totally honest. A lot of people pretty much wiped their hands of him due to the last World Cup qualifiers and some of the things that did happen. But, he's 29 years of age, still has some more football left in him for sure. And he's also not starting every game as well, so he's in the same boat as the other ones, so you can't really take off marks there if we're going to let the other ones still get into it. So Alvas Powell is one name, people. Another name that hasn't really been in people's thoughts so much, but is one that, if we're looking at playing time, is one we definitely need to look at. And he's had more appearances than all the names I've just brought up. Is Kyle Duncan. He plays right back for New York Red Bulls. Also can play on the opposite side at left back. Has had 6 starts out of the 10 appearances he's made. And he has played half of them at right back and half at left back. So another versatile player that can play both sides. To my knowledge, he does have the ability to play for us. I could be wrong on that, people, but I just wanted to highlight him as another player that could potentially add something to that right back pool for us. And that is Kyle Duncan. New York Red Bulls, 1.5 mil. So a player that, is... and he did spend some time in Belgium at Ostende as well on loan. So he just returned from that loan, spent the entire time last season with them. So, did get some experience in Europe as well. So this is one people that I don't think many people have had their eye on. But the other day I was watching, which game was it that he played that I watched? So I was looking at this game, watching him play against Messi and them. And, I know they got a bag up. It was very bad. But to be honest, he played really well in the first half. I mean, he looked like he was very, very good on the ball. Looks like his time in Belgium helped him with the technical side of it. Was pretty clean in his possession and everything. And, just a good athlete, good size on him as well. And like I said, looks comfortable on each foot, so can play left or right back. So Kyle Duncan, one that I think people should definitely look out for and start to scout some more, because I do believe that he can play for us as well. Yeah, I know that Yedlin trade has hurt him, I don't know if Dujan's documents are confirmed, but I was actually leaning towards putting Dujan as a midfielder, personally. I think that's where we need his services the most. But definitely he could play right or left wing back. If he can play for us. And I do plan on putting him in the midfielder pool. Yeah. So Alvas makes the pool for Demo. Jerome PTSD kicking in. 3 X's for Alvas. No way. Oh, know yourself say he can make the 50. Yes, Robbie has not played much. I did highlight that trade for Yedlin would be a problem for him in a previous show. I don't think we should judge our picks by if they are starting. If they are making their club's bench and experience, they should be looked at. Bobby Reed is a good example. Okay. I don't think we should. Bobby Reed is the regular starter recently. True. But I think football grew the main difference, when you look at like who's starting and who not starting, and then you're comparing that to what they have done for Jamaica, you must admit that Bobby Reed is a bit higher in the pecking order as far as Reggae Boyz players are concerned than any of these players I've just gone through. So, I think it is a little more important to see what they have been doing at their clubs, because we have called them in the past when they were playing all the time and they have not performed maybe to the best. So if now they're not playing for their clubs, we have to, I've seen Bobby Reed not play for Fulham, come to play for Jamaica and play like he's been playing every game for Fulham. I have not seen the opposite from the other guys, And that's another point. You're factoring in the EPL bench with the MLS bench, and those are not the same gravy, Big up yourself, Chris Smith. Yeah, so that's Kyle Duncan, people. Another player I think we should think about putting in that pool. So I'm going to go ahead and add him. So Kyle Duncan. And then as far as right backs go, all the other ones that I would love to put, I believe are ones that I don't have any clarity on whether they can play for Jamaica as of yet. Some of those names would be the likes of Ethan Laird. Ethan Laird at Birmingham City, only 22 years of age. I think this player is one that definitely should be involved in something to do with the Reggae Boys right now. 3 million on transfer market, so very coveted player. Had some injury issues this season, as you can see, hamstring and groin. But whenever he's fit, people, right back in the team, starting, can operate at right or left back, but does prefer that right back role. So Ethan Laird, people, all of the man them will follow up the passports and everything. Can this man play for us? If so, he gets a spot in this pool for me. Ethan Laird, 22 years of age. Yeah, man, he needs to be there. Yeah, but to Chris Smith's point, there's a difference when you factor in the competition for the place to start. The competition Bobby Reid would face is another level to what the MLS players on the bench are facing to play. I thought so too, Demo, but the man has not ever been picked. So what the heck? Where has he been? You know what I'm saying? Ethan Laird to me is a no-brainer. He has to come. He has to come. I would put him right. I don't know if him start right away, but him have to be in the squad right away. Ethan Laird, man. Age profile, ceiling, market value, every metric you can think of, he deserves to be there. So Ethan Laird for me is one that has to be. Yes, I know Deshaun has been doing a lot of work behind the scenes. I hope him get credit from people for that, because I see him talk to Mason. I know him and Laird is brethren as well from their times at United. So yeah, it makes sense, you know. Because Ethan Laird, if you look at his history, yeah, he would have been around Man United under 21s, coming up the ranks with Deshaun the whole time. So yeah, they're definitely bridging, you know. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Jerome, I don't believe that, you know, since Simon has effectively taken on the role as the press officer, I don't think you guys should still be looking for him to give you guys the same type of updates he used to. I don't think he can do those type of things anymore with the role he's in. So don't expect that from him anymore, people. And I'm just assuming that he never told me this. I'm just assuming that that's a part of the reason why we haven't been seeing the what's the deals and the what's that and this and that. He can't really do those things anymore based on his capacity and his role. I don't think, but I could be wrong. Stick to who has their passport and have a deep desire to play for Jamaica, not those who have Jamaican heritage. Football Guru, I would love to know your database of contacts in your phone, because you're so definitive in your statements about who want to play and who don't want to play. You are the truth. You should be passport guru. Pull up the amount of minutes Bobby Reid played this season and his contribution. All right, will do. I won't forget to do that, Chris Smith. Before the show done, I will pull it up. I don't know if he starts right away. Do you know, bro? Man bench to the goat. Let me. No, the only reason why I say is because, you know, I think that he's probably better than Dexter Lembikisa right now. But at the end of the day, like, you can't have the man have those performances he just had and just bench him. You know, like it just wouldn't be fair. You know what I mean? Unless we're bringing in, you know. Yeah, Jackie Love TV. Do some research on the player, man. Very, very solid player. Very, very solid player. 52% starts, a lot of the minutes as well. And that's only because if you look on his detailed performances here, he only missed games because he was out injured. Injury, grind injury, and then he's back for the entire season again. So yeah, this is a player that championship level, playing for Birmingham all season long. You know, Birmingham barely escaped the relegation zone, but they were safe. Wait, did they? No, did they get relegated? 22, 23, 20. Rotted. Birmingham, go down. Profile. Let me see. I think they went down, people. Check some. You know, I relegate you, Ethan. Let me make sure so you go down. So he has a contract until 2026. Birmingham City. Yep, Birmingham was relegated, people. Damn. Not good. So he'll be going down to League One if he stays. I'm sure some championship clubs will probably be looking as a way for them to earn some money. They might be shipping him out. He probably one of their most prized assets at the moment. 22 years old, 3 million. Yeah, man, they might cash in. I'd be shocked if him don't get transferred to a championship team. Yeah, I think that's what's gonna happen. So he's only 22 years of age, Jackie Love, and Deshaun Bernard would be the best link to him because they came up in the Man United youth system together. Ben Johnson, I'm not so sure about his papers, but yes, I would love if Ben Johnson came because that's another quality player we could use. Ballheads TV, I'm not sure what I'm say. Oh, because I'm saying my go down. Okay. A Rooney fault. Yeah, they did get relegated. I had to check. It's a 22nd place after the last game. I'm gonna say wait, a 24 team. So yeah, it must relegate. So I'm just go check on that true. Boy, Jackie Love, we want to get the whole of them. Boy, Jacob Ramsey going to be a tough one. I think him and Morgan Gibbs White. I don't know. I think England gonna use those two. I think so. I'd be surprised if we get Morgan or Jacob Ramsey, to be honest. I would love them, but I don't think we're gonna get them. All right, so that's Ethan Laird, people. I'm gonna take a chance on Ethan, and I'm gonna say that he does get into the pool. All right, I think that's one that I wanted to have one that people might not have seen coming. So Ethan Laird would be mine. All right, so right backs, people. I don't have any local based players in my pool for the right back position. I have Dexter Lembikisa, Tavon Gray, Javane Brown, Kyle Duncan, and Ethan Laird. Now, I'm going to be honest, people. I would rather see Kyle Duncan in it. But because I'm not so certain on the paperwork for him, I'm going to say Alvas Powell and Ethan Laird. Because I don't want to have too many that I'm so uncertain on. So, of the people that I'm uncertain about with the paperwork, I'm going to leave Ethan and take off Kyle. So, the 5 right backs in my pool that I've gone with is Dexter Lembikisa, Tavon Gray, Javane Brown, Alvas Powell, and Ethan Laird. And looks like the time is going crazy for this player pool. So I'm not gonna get to the cutting it down to the 23 to 26. What I'll probably do, I'll try to put this into a form of some kind of document, and I'll post it in the community. And then I want to work with that 55 to try to come back now and pick a 23 to 26. We'll do 26 because I feel like CONMEBOL will give that concession to the 26. So, all right. So left back shouldn't be so hard, right? We have Amari Bell. I know he's injured, people, but he'll be in the pool because we want to make sure that if he gets fit, he can be picked. We'll have Greg Lee as well. Another left back that we can call on. Let's see. So give me some more. Zimines. That's a good shout. The only thing with Tyreek that worries me as far as right back is I feel like the club where he's at is trying to develop him as more of a midfielder to an attacker, just based on where he's been playing and stuff. But you know, he has been having a decent season in the in the fourth tier in Belgium there for Young Circle. 18 appearances on the season with 3 goals. And has been playing pretty much regularly on the season. But as I said before, a lot of appearances right midfield, so right wing even at times. and they still list him as a right back, but he has been playing a little bit further up the park. Let me see if they actually have. Yeah, so they don't really give you. Okay, so it looks like lately, like most recently, they've been putting him back at right back, which is good. So they're kind of giving him like, a different roles. Yeah, so he's playing. So it looks like he's playing either right wing back or right back in a back four lately. Earlier in the earlier part of the season, they were still playing him a little further up the pitch, but they have recently changed that strategy now. It looks like he's playing a lot more minutes in the defensive area of the pitch. He started out this season playing a lot of midfield, and then gradually has been moving to more right back, or right wing back. So yeah, that's Zimini is not a bad shout, Still only 19. I just feel like I think one of the issues I had with the last player pool that we put out, it seemed like a lot of the names on there were just there to just fill up the names, and they would never be ones to get actually called. I am trying to pick a pool that we could close our eye and we're still okay with the people that we end up picking. So if it's 5 left backs, are we picking 3 or 2? Any 2 of the 5 we would be okay with. I want to get away from just putting the people just for putting the people and making a number. So like with the right backs as an example, Ethan Laird might not make it, right? Because of the paperwork or whatever the case is. But at least I know if he can make it and he makes it, everyone would be happy with it, as opposed to putting Ziminis, who, if it push come to shove and he makes it, maybe some people would say, boy, Ziminis, really? Like, over all the other people that are a bit more developed and everything. So, that's the goal. I want to try to make the pool as competitive as possible for when we're picking the players. Yeah, he does fit that role for real. Yes, Avis Williams. That is definitely a player that I was going to put as a left back, and that is Lloyd Kelly. Now, Lloyd Kelly, of course, can play in the back 3 or in the back 4 even as a centre back. But I've seen him playing in a back 4 for Bournemouth lately as the left back and actually look pretty good out there, to be honest. So I didn't think that he would be so good in the 4. I thought if he played on that left side, it would have to be in the 3. But his athleticism is better than I thought. He's a lot faster than I thought as well. So yeah, he's somebody that I would say would make my pool, and that is Lloyd Kelly. By all accounts, he is interested and does have papers. He's interested. I don't know if he has papers. Let me not say that. But I would have him in the pool. So as of right now, Amari Bell, Greg Lee, Lloyd Kelly. There are other players in the Premier League that I'm not certain about. Jaden Bogle would be one of them from Sheffield United, only 23 years of age. But I just don't know enough about his status, if he could come or not. He would be a right back. I would definitely add in. And then other than him, there is this player as well, who's also at Sheffield, Andre Brooks, but he's more of a cam to a central midfielder type player, even winger. Yes, he's central midfield, attacking midfield, left midfield. Yeah, so I don't know if he would be one for the left back role that's a little bit more attacking. This player, people, is obviously the dream. Don't think I'm spelling his name right though. Oh yeah, I am. Tyreek Mitchell, 24 years of age. 2 caps for England, but they were in friendlies, so he should be good there. Let me double check that. Yeah, his 2 caps came in 2 friendlies, so he's good. Has not played a competitive game for England as yet, but he had a great performance on the weekend, and Southgate was there. So, he definitely is in line potentially for a Euro move. I mean, has had a stellar season, started pretty much every game. Has chipped in with some goals and assists as well, 2 goals, 3 assists. I think he's one that has definitely benefited with this move into the left midfield role. We're getting to see more of him attacking. Oliver Glasner has changed the system to a more of a 3-4-3 system or a 3-4-2-1 system, and they have really been playing well the last 5 games or so. And I think a part of it is he's really unlocked some of the better attributes of some of his players when it comes down to the likes of Olise and Eze, and also Tyreek Mitchell and Munoz at the wing back position. So I do think that Tyreek Mitchell is one that can definitely thrive in this system that we're currently playing. If we play in the back four, he's a great left back there. But if we keep the same system, the 3-4-3, he's incredible there as well. So, look, this is a wish list, people, and I'm going to put it on there. Tyreek Mitchell would definitely make my pool if he wants to play for us and has all his papers ready. So that's 4. I have Amari Bell, Greg Lee, Tyreek Mitchell, and Lloyd Kelly as the 4. I need another left back, people. I'm going to take one from the chat. So start giving me some left backs, people. I see Nitro. Put Josh Wilson, Esbran, injured. Nathan Wood, Reese Nelson, Dujan Sterling, and Max Aarons. So Max Aarons, I want to say, he's one of those names that I've heard so much brought up, and he's always been consistent in what he said. He still harbors thoughts of playing for England, so I'm just going to listen to him and take his word for it. I'm not going to bug him about that anymore. He's still thinking England. Reese Nelson, I've heard a lot of good news on the Reese Nelson side. I did hear some rumblings that it could have cooled based on the last window and all the foolishness that was going on. So I am not so sure about Reese Nelson right now. Dujan Sterling, I do think, is probably, of all these names on this list, I would say that's the most realistic one to coming for this upcoming time that we have coming up here. I've heard a lot of positive news when I do some research on that. And Nathan Wood is an interesting one. In case people aren't familiar, let me show you who Nathan Wood is. He's a 21-year-old centre-back from Swansea City. Made 26 appearances in the championship this year with 1 goal. Let's see. So he did have a back injury for an extended amount of time, but then once he returned, had a nice run of games from January till about April, and then did have to miss a few games and was on the bench and wasn't used as much for the last 3 games. But definitely one for the future, and one for the now, really. I mean, starting in the championship when he was fit, playing a good amount of the games, as you can see, 26 appearances this season. So yeah, not one definitely to look at. Nathan Wood. I believe that he's actually already eligible. I believe I remember reading an article about that. So that's a good shout actually for a centre back. We're kind of struggling to pick one. Can also operate on the right back area as well, and also listed as another option in defensive midfield. So that's an intriguing one, people. So I'm just going to make a mental note of Nathan Wood. I want to do a little bit more research as far as how far along he is in his eligibility to play for us. But based on the profile, I like what I see. I like what I see there. Dimitri Mitchell, or is Tyreek middle name that? I'm not sure. Lansley Blake says Zimini should be in the pool for the right back. The club is rapidly developing his ball handling skills to improve his stocks at right back. All right, Lansley, let me see. So my right backs were Lembikisa, Tavon Gray, Javane Brown, Alvas Powell, and Ethan Laird. So I think I've seen enough Zimini's names to warrant him in the pool. So I'm going to add him in. I think the one knock on him last year was maybe the game time, and he's definitely improved that this season, playing the bulk of the games for his club. And he's actually playing more along the lines of the role that we used in the Nations League as well. So I like the idea of having him, 19 years old. So for me, based on what I have now, I have Dexter, Tavon Gray, Javane Brown. I removed Alvas, and I have Ethan Laird and Tariq Ziminis. But I think I'm going to go with one of Gray or Brown, and I'm going to give Alvas Powell his spot. I think he deserves it based on, if we're just basing it off of form, Alvas had a better season than both last year, and they're pretty much around the same situation this year so far. And Alvas has a bit more experience as well. And he's not, 29 is not over the hill. He still has good legs in him. So between Tavon Gray or Javane Brown, people, because I am going to agree with some in the chat, past Demo and some others about Ziminis. I'm going to include him in the pool, and I need one more right back. It's between Javane and Tavon Gray. So give me one or the other, people. Which one you prefer? I have him listed as a centre back, Avis. Jaden Bogle plays for Sheffield United. He plays right back. Oh, thank you very much. Thank you very much, Avis. You should have been here before. Yo, I have to change it. I have to change it. Omar Richards, brother. I completely forget about the baller star. Omar Richards. So that simply means, all right, so all of us don't have to be there. Omar Richards. All right, so right now we have Dexter, Omar Richards, Ethan Laird, Tariq Ziminis. So should I remove Ziminis and put back Gray or Brown or Powell? Should I well, I'm not removing Laird, I'm not removing Richards, I'm not removing Dexter Lembikisa. So the final two slots, people. Right now, I have Dexter Lembikisa, Omar Richards, Ethan Laird. Give me two more. Remember, I had Kyle Duncan and removed him. I had Javane Brown and removed him. I had Alvas Powell and removed him. I had Tavon Gray and removed him. So we need two more slots out of them names, and Ziminis as well. Avis, thank you so much for saying that, because I would have looked back on the video and upset with myself. And people, if you're not familiar, Omar Richards is now at Olympiacos, people. He did come on at halftime in the game against Bailey in the first leg, and more than likely would probably start tomorrow, because I don't think the guy is going to recover in time. But let's look at his league season. Let's see, Super League. All right, so Omar Richards, as you can see, started out the season, was not available until about December. So he was out injured for a while, people. Came back, made an appearance in December, made a couple more in January. And, up until this point, before the Super League playoffs, was really getting sparing minutes since his injury. But lately now, people, he definitely has been getting a lot more game time. So this is the playoffs. So these are the most recent games in the league. And as you can see, he started 4 of the last 5. Had an assist in one of them as well. And I think he's just a player that is peaking in terms of his form at a good time. When you look at his pedigree as a player, obviously one that has, had quite a seasoned career when you look at the clubs that he's been at. Had a spell at Forest, had a spell at Bayern Munich as well. Had a huge transfer over there. I think it was about 7 million to get to Bayern Munich. And then, he's now then he was sold to Forest for 8.5, right? And now he's on loan at Olympiacos to return at the end of this season to Nottingham Forest. So, 14 games overall for this season, a total of 702 minutes. So not the most in the tank for the year. But if you look at when these 14 appearances have come, and the bulk of these minutes, they have all been within the last couple of months. So that means he's peaking in his form at the right time. And I just think when you look at where the player has played, obviously there's a good player in there. At this stage, he's now 26 years of age. And to my knowledge, definitely wants to, would definitely welcome representing the Reggae Boyz. So this is one that I would love to see. I know this isn't the end all be all, but obviously you see there he's listed as Jamaica as well as England. So usually that's a good sign that he can play for us. Doesn't really tell you if he's eligible now, whether he has the paperwork ready, but that's a good sign that you know that he can, right? So Omar Richards, people, Avis Williams are giving you the assist there. Yes, he deserves to be in this pool. I totally agree. And I don't know why I'm removing him from the right backs when he's a left back. That is I'm tripping. I don't know what I'm doing there. So let me fix back the right back then, people. I don't know when me ask fling Omar upon the right back when him there left back. So we can go back to what we were gonna do originally, people. Dexter, Ethan Laird, Tariq Zimenez, Alvas Powell, and one of Gray or Brown. I'm gonna be fair about this, people. Not my cup of tea as a player. I kind of prefer Tavon a little more, but I think Javane, if we're being honest, has done better for Jamaica so far. And Lloyd Kelly. So my 5 left backs now are Amari Bell, Greg Lee, Tyreek Mitchell, Lloyd Kelly, and Omar Richards. So the left back is kind of wishful heavy, but look, that's what I would love to see, people. I don't know if it will happen, but hey, a person can dream, right? And all of those people are eligible, so it's not like I'm using players that have no chance. Oh, sorry. The whole time I was talking about Omar, I didn't have his stuff on the screen, but this is basically what I was showing you, people. Just his trajectory as a player. Went to Reading's youth system, went straight from Reading and got went to Bayern Munich on a free, and then Bayern Munich, did the right thing, got a nice 8.5 million for that investment that they made in his time, and then Forest sent him out on loan to Olympiacos for the season, and that's where he is until it ends in June, and then he'll be back at Forest. I believe he'll be a free agent as well. No, I think that's just his contract here. So let's see. Doesn't really say when his contract at Forest would end here. That's okay. But yeah, left back can play left midfield as well, a little further up the pitch. So another left-sided player that I think Jamaica could definitely use, People saying Jed Spence. I think he still is deluded and thinks that he can make England. We're doing a wish list. Guru, I know you would have hate them pick the brother. Sorry. I can't just please you every time. Sorry. Unknown from Forest, yes, I know. Bench form. Yeah, him actually play the same as the others, Dejan Sterling left back. Actually, I have Dejan listed as a midfielder. I know he can play left back, but I didn't put him in the pool as a left back. All right, so that's the left back and the right back. Really only one thing to clear up. I put Javane Brown as the 5th in the pool for the right back. I have Alvas, Javane, Tariq Zimenez, Ethan Laird, Dexter, left backs, Amari, Greg, Tyreek, Lloyd Kelly, and Omar Richards. So let's move into the midfield, people. So based on the numbers, there's 18 midfielders that we can choose. And let's just run through the name them fast. Are the ones that obviously, will be in the pool. Whatever pool we have, they would be in this pool. So Dejan Sterling, I think everybody would agree. As long as his paperwork are there and everything is good to go with that, he should be there. I remember, people, this is a pool. So this is not the final list, but this is just names to choose the final list from. So Dejan Sterling, let's see, John Russell makes my pool. Kevin Lambert makes my pool as well. I know people don't like him, but I think he should be in the pool at least. Dejan Sterling, John Russell, Kevin Lambert. I don't know if this player wants to play for us or has a passport, but no, I'm not putting him. All right, Daniel Johnson hasn't been playing football, but I think seniority continuity. He's going to be in the pool. Karai Anderson will be in the pool. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's see who else. Can't include Albas at right back over Brown or Gray. We have seen that they were better for Jamaica right back than Albas for Jamaica. Ooh, I don't know if we have seen Gray be better. I think I would agree that Brown has been a little better. But Alvas wasn't always bad for Jamaica, you know. It was just towards the end. He was really bad. You look at like some of those Gold Cup runs when he was in the team. He was actually doing really well in those teams. So I think the narrative that Alvas was always terrible for Jamaica is just rough, you know. Yeah, I think let's see. Brandon Cova is in my pool. Casey Palmer. All right, so I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 so far. So I have Dejan Sterling, John Russell, Kevin Lambert, Daniel Johnson, Karai Anderson, Brandon Cova, and Casey Palmer. So that's 7. Let me see. That would be nice. I wouldn't mind. To me, he just looks so nervous when he plays for us so far. He just needs to realize, like, you're in the team, man. Just calm down and just show what you can do, you know? Yeah, DJ, Kova, Casey. Yep. I don't believe that Maggie will be making my pool personally, no. Irie Vibes, boy, talent-wise, yes, but I wouldn't put him in the pool, bro. He's not. What is he doing? What is Ravel Morrison doing? The only time I've heard anybody mention Ravel Morrison playing football was I watched an interview with the man that used to play for Leicester. Could have played for Jamaica as well, Danny Simpson. And him saying playing a Sunday league thing where Ravel and a lot of other players play, and him say Ravel is the best player every Sunday. That's all he said. So Ravel is playing basically the equivalent of corner league on a Sunday with some like ex-pros and thing. So that is the bulk of what he's doing football-wise right now. So, I mean, if you feel comfortable just calling a player away, been without a club since January, yes, him keep himself fit because we see him post the video them. So, you know, but I don't think it's a good look. I heard somebody mention earlier, boy, what it looked like bringing a third string keeper to fly in when we have keepers on the island and all these things. Well, how it look to the everybody else who are trying to make the team for just put Ravel in the team. It's not a good look, bro. I mean, yes, the man is talented. Nobody can get around that, but come on, man. Yeah, know yourself, man. It's unfair. I can't put the man in there. Football guru said Albas has always been bad. He couldn't pass or find the midfielder and frequently could make the tackle and out of position. Boy, rough. He had a spell where he wasn't so bad, man. It's just towards the end it got really bad. And that's all we remember right now, you know? Pastor said Kova and Splat should be in the pool. Well, I have Kova in there, and Splat is definitely a good shout as well. Let me look at Splat. Delano. He's had a very good season in PL2. That's the playoffs. Let's look at the overall numbers. So this is Delano Splat PL2 numbers, people. Did have a stretch where he was out injured from about September to Jan. Or that could have been he went on loan to, you know, but I'll check that. 11 appearances in total, mostly at CDM or CM, so you can play deeper or in the box to box. And did have 3 goals and an assist on the season as well. So that was that. Let me put all competitions real quick. All right, so PL2 playoffs and EFL trophy. Okay, so yeah, he didn't have a loan spell anywhere. He just had some injury issues from about September till about February. And that makes sense because I remember when some of those squads were picked people were bringing up Splat's name, and I was saying, boy, I would love him to be, recognized and called, but he just wasn't fit, so it didn't really make sense. I don't think so. I think there's some other midfielders in the JPL that might warrant it over him, to be honest. Oh, we attack. Richards, must say Richards he attack. Oh no, I think I know who you were talking. Ravel. Ravel have about 75 club on the bliss. Yeah, but Splat is a good shout, people. I have to agree with Pastor there, I mean, it's a player pool, remember. So, you're gonna have players, for the future in there as well. So the Lana Splat for me gets in the player pool for the midfielder. So right now, all right, remember my breakdown is 18 midfielders, 14 forwards. So of course the forwards will have attacking wing players as well in it. And the midfielders will have some that might be cams and could potentially play wing. So it's kind of mixed up. But right now, we have 8 in total. Dejan Sterling, John Russell, Kevin Lambert, Daniel Johnson, Karai Anderson, Brandon Kova, Casey Palmer, and Delano Splat. So I'm trying to think of some other ones now. Definitely Bobby Reed. I would put him as a midfielder as well. And I know earlier Chris Smith did want me to pull up Bobby's season, so let me do that because I said I would when we got to him. Why may I try to write the man name crazy? What is now? Bobby. Yeah. Here we go. Bobby De Cordova Reed, 31 games, appearances in the league, 6 goals and 2 assists on the season, 4 yellow cards. This is just Premier League. Let me put all competitions. All right, so this is his overall stats. 39 games played, 7 goals, 4 assists. So 11 goal contributions in 39 minutes. In the Premier League, as you can see, pretty much gets on the field for the most part, most of the time. Did have his off games where, he didn't get any chance to play. About 5 of the games he didn't actually come on. FA Cup, he did have a goal as well, and he had 2 assists in the EFL Cup where they had a decent run to the semi-finals in this, of course, playing Liverpool in the semis. So yeah, that is what he has done so far this season for his club. And as you can see, utilized in a lot of different areas. 18 times at right wing, 10 at left wing, 2 right midfield, 1 attacking midfield, 1 left midfield. So Swiss Army knife type of player, can definitely do all of those roles really well as well. I wouldn't even say that he's best at any of those. He's just good at all of them. So yeah, just a great player to have in any kind of squad, and definitely one of the linchpins of Jamaica's squad. Starting 11 only 44% of the time, but when you look at this squad and the names that he's playing behind, there's no you can't really kill him for not starting every game for Fulham. They have a decent squad. It's the Premier League at the end of the day. So yeah, man. Yeah, this I will agree with. I didn't think that Lambert got a fair shake after the Gold Cup. I thought that they had some really decent performances in the midfield, and I actually thought that Latiba there looked worse when he wasn't partnered by Lambert. That's just my take on that. Yeah, man, 2026 is definitely one. Natty Congo, I would love that. I just don't know if either one of them are close enough to make this pool right now. Marlon King, you need to watch some more football. Come watch the brother. What the brother name I play for PSG? Yo, him is rapidly becoming one of the most technical players in the brother. The brother named Vitinha will play midfield for Portugal and PSG. Yo, the man, bad is a shame. Dante Casanova is another one, people. I last I checked on him, it's kind of in and out. No, spelling name right. No, he's played the majority of the season. Okay. Let me go to all competitions and see what it's looking like. So Casanova has actually been playing some centre back this year. He's played the most games around the back. Wow. So it could turn out that of the two players, Casanova and Splat, this one is really the more of the CDM than the other one. Because Splat has been playing more box to box and CDM, and this man has been playing centre back the most out of any position, especially lately. So maybe they're converting him now. Because he was always playing midfield in the past. But now they look like they're playing him at centre back. Wow. So that was news to me. Thanks for bringing that up, because I didn't realize that he's been playing centre back lately. Cool. Where's Speedy in the pool? I've always been a fan of Speedy, I think Speedy get a bad rap. The only thing going against him is the age. 32, that puts him at 34 for the World Cup. I think that's the only thing. And for whatever reason, this coach hasn't really, involved him. So I don't know if we'll be going back for Speedy. And that's a part of the reason why I know it's my pool and I'm just putting players in there, but I don't think that I'll be right about Alvas, just based on him not using him in the past yet, So Speedy has started every game and played all the minutes so far this season, which he normally does in this league, in the championship. So yeah, player pool wise, people, do you think Speedy should be there? Our midfield needs experience and quality, or we will struggle in the Copa. All right, know yourself. This is a player that I actually recently started tracking as well, Tyrese Hall. Not, predominantly plays. Started out the season predominantly playing the U18 league, but has been pushed up to the PL2 lately, and also made an appearance in the playoffs for Tottenham in the PL2 as well. But this is his stats by the numbers for the season. So this includes FA Youth Cup, EFL Trophy, pretty much everything he's played. 28 games, 6 goals and 7 assists. So good returns, 13 goal contribution in 28. Recently did go on that trip to Morocco with the U20, of course. I mean, with the I think it was the England U19s. And we know about this tournament because this was the same thing that Bailey Cadamarteri ended up going to. So he was actually there on that trip. So maybe they had some discussions while there about the Reggae Boyz. Who knows? Let's see, PL2. So yeah, so lately they have moved him up to play the stretch run of PL2. In the first part of the season, he was still playing with the U18s and doing so well that he ended up moving up. So, good progression this season by Tyrese. Also had a decent FA Cup Youth Cup run where he had basically a goal contribution in every game before losing to Man City U18. So, yeah, this is a good shout, Tyrese Hall, central midfielder, can play DM or CM. Right now, for this role, definitely would make more sense than Casanova, because Casanova, as you can see, has been converting slowly to the centre back role. So yeah, if right now I have, as young players in the pool, I have Brandon Cover and Delano Splat. And Corey Anderson, of course, is also young. So, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So right now I have 9. I'm going to put Tyrese Hall because I think the player has a lot of talent, but I don't know if he'll stay for the entire time. He makes 10, but remember, we need to get to 18. So we need to stop being so mean and let some people. Lambert wasn't playing what? No, but Oh, you mean like when we didn't call him? Yeah. But I think about it, boy, it's not a good look, especially knowing that both of them were getting the time before. So I need to check the squads of the both teams more and see if it's more a product of, boy, they had some injuries that came back, or is it just the form was so bad by the two of them just lose them place. Because sometimes, it's not just the form, it's they might have players that came back who, especially in Boza's case, with the season coming to a close, Boza getting big stats at the end of the season doesn't really help the club. He's there on loan. So, they might be playing other players who they might be wanting to put in the shop window. So there's a lot of politics involved as well, Chris. So I'd have to read, to give you an honest answer, I'd have to do some more research as to the squad composition and when people came back from injuries and all these things. But good question. It's not a good sign on face value, but it could be deeper. Yeah, I never even realized. Is Miles Peart-Harris in the 60-man pool? I think he should be. Let's say put Speedy back in there. Well, we need 18 midfield and we can't reach 10. So I'm going to put Speedy and done. That's 11 now. All right, give me some more midfielders, people. We look like we have a lot of deeper line midfielders. Let's get some more attacking minded midfielders in the mix, or those who could play potentially a wing role as well, but still considered midfielders. Anybody come to mind, people? Deshane Beckford having a really good start to the season in the championship, USL championship, that is. Let's see. Efran Mason-Clark had a great season for Peterborough. Just don't know his status as far as the paperwork. Zaba HD says Harvey Nibs. Well, Zaba, I'm going to give your comment some time because that's a player that I don't even know about. So let's see. Harvey Nibs. He's an attacking midfielder. Plays for Reading. Was in the Villa Academy. This man play 96% starts, 92 minutes, 25% goal contributions. 25 years old. So had a big season in League One, people. 45 played, 11 goals, 6 assists. Played the majority of the games on the left. No, actually played the majority of his games at attacking midfield, but also played some games at center forward, right wing, and left wing. But yeah, solid. Good season overall. Reading didn't have the greatest season in League One, but he definitely was not one of the reasons why. So yeah, kudos to him for this season. Let's see all competitions, what he did. Had 4 goals in the EFL trophy and 1 more as well in the FA Cup. So 16 goals total on the season, not bad at all. From the attacking midfield position. So Harvey Nibs, I'm not going to put him in the pool just yet because I want to research the player some more. But thank you for that name, Zaba HD. That's a name that I didn't even know about this player. So thank you. I love to learn new things. Yes, Avis Williams. I am putting Dwight McNeil in my wish list for the midfield. I don't care what nobody say. Football guru, I forgot vex. Dwight McNeil in the midfield pool. Yeah, man. I realize where I say now fresh. So why do you that starting look better than him? Oh, you talk about Boza. Yeah. Yeah, Boza no really warrant the place based on how him form was looking. Yes, Kaim Paris. I will put him in as well. Kaim Paris probably having him best season overseas of his career. And I feel like he at least warrants to be in the pool. But the only argument I could come with now is do we list him as a forward or a midfielder? Because for me, he's an actual winger. Like, I think that's his best role. And I think that's a part of the reason why he's having some success this season. This club is actually playing him on the right wing. Like, literally, that's where he plays almost all the time he plays. If he don't play right wing, he play left wing. So I'm going to say Paris should be in the pool, but he's going to make it as a forward for me. Now, 24 years of age. This season looks like the season that he's been waiting for. Much more consistent game time, playing about 90% of the games. And as you can see, 27 games, 4 goals and 6 assists recently. Yeah, been definitely firing lately as well. Basically, since the start of April, has a lot more contributions as far as goals and assists are concerned. So, big up Kaim Paris in Azerbaijan, of course. Not the biggest league in the world, but he does play for one of the better teams. I think they're up to 3rd place now in the league. So, they have a chance to make it to Europe based on what they're doing right now. Okay, Cardell Benbow. Yeah, the Costa Rican contingent football guru, I will say they are like the forgotten ones when it comes down to Jamaican football. So Paris, as I say, I'm going to put him in my list of 14 forwards as a winger. Cardell Benbow as well. He could be a midfielder or a winger, but this is him. Looks like they have a picture of him from Manning Cup or something. Well, it's a USL, but man look young. So this is Cardell in the Clausura competition in Costa Rica, which has been going since January. 18 appearances, 5 goals, 2 assists. Did play a game on the 8th, which they haven't updated yet, so I'm not sure if he scored. But as you can see, in his last 2 games before that, 2 goals in one and another goal in the next one. So definitely picking up steam as far as the goals and assists are concerned lately. So it's another one, people. Now at the age of 28, so still has some more football left in him. Cardell Benbow, does he get a look in? Does he get a look in, people? Let me know. Javan East. Again, the forgotten ones over there in Costa Rica. Enough trophy the man win over there though. Big up to him. And this is what he has done in the Clausura so far since January. 7 goals and 6 assists. So great output there. Goal participation. Has been predominantly playing right wing and some games at center forward as well. But yeah, really playing well. Look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. His last 8 games, he has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Last 8 games, 11 goal contribution, people. So this guy is on fire right now. Look, I was never the biggest fan when I saw him play for Jamaica, I'll be totally honest with you. But I will say this. When I saw his appearances in this thing right here, this CONCACAF Champions Cup, especially this game where it went to extra time, he was a menace. He was a menace. I call it back, mom. He was a menace when it forward to just giving problems to that defense line. And one thing I noticed about him playing in Costa Rica, improve his ability to run off the ball and improve his ability to link up with other players. So he does that a lot better than I ever remember him doing in the past. So Javanese people, we have to start to give the man a look, I'm not lying to you people. We have to be honest with ourselves. Javanese deserve it over a lot of people. Yes, man. Yeah, that's another one. Some other names that I've seen lately, people, that are kind of in that boat of players where, for whatever reason, when they get exported out of Jamaica, we act like they don't exist anymore. But this is one that I've been tracking consistently lately. Kenroy Campbell over in Latvia, in the top tier there. And he's been playing right wing predominantly and scoring a lot of goals. Played some striker as well and some attacking mid. So he has 9 games so far for this shortened season and already has 3 goals, 2 assists. Did score in his most recent game as well. And the team is actually doing well. I believe they're now in 5th. But they did start out in 1st for a few weeks. But yeah, this player right here is one that, I think has been growing year to year so far at this club. If you look at even his 22-23 stats, just definitely going from strength to strength. As you can see, as he was getting used to it at the end of last season there, didn't have the output. But when you factor in what he's doing now, after a full preseason there and playing with this team, 5 contributions in the first 9 games as opposed to 1 in 7 last year. So, definitely one that I think that we need to start to look at again. Very dangerous cutting in off that right side with that left foot. Scored a beauty of a goal. Scored some really beautiful goals, actually. If you go to his Instagram and just look at what he's posted, scored some really, really nice goals. Another player that is doing well as well overseas is this player right here, Tamar Lewis. Now, Tamar Lewis is in Bosnia and Herzegovina, and he is in the 2nd tier over there. So not in the top league currently, but his stats speak for themselves. 27 played, 11 goals. Has been playing predominantly though as a striker or a right winger for the most part. And he has been on fire lately. 2 goals, 1 goal, 1 goal, 2 goals. So he's been scoring goals lately. I don't know if he's quite there as far as making a pool, but I just wanted to highlight that he's doing well. Tamar Lewis, 26 years of age in Bosnia's 2nd tier. But I would have Kenra Campbell ahead of him, and I would also have another player that I wanted to bring up on screen as well ahead of him. No, so that was it. Kahim Paris, Tamar Lewis, Kenra Campbell. Of those 3 players, I would say that Kenra Campbell would be the one for me that would be getting into the player pool. I think he deserves another look in. I don't think the coach has ever seen this particular player. I could be mistaken though. Maybe we used him for the game when we went to Africa, maybe to play Cameroon. He might have been in that team, I want to say, but I'm not so certain. Yeah, but I feel like while that might be true, Football Guru, I do feel like the level that he's playing at now is a bit better than the Copa, than where he was at FC Copa in that league. And that's just my personal opinion. Based on like the footage that I've seen and how the teams are playing, I think that this league where he's at in Azerbaijan is actually a little bit better. Yeah, than the Copa League. Because FC Copa is I think they're second tier in Slovakia or Serbia. Which one is it? Tell you in 1 second. Liga. Yeah, Slovenia 1st tier. Okay. Well, no, Slovenia would be higher still, to be honest. So maybe you're right, Guru. Can't really say this season is better than the Copa one still. Because Slovenia is, I would say, a little bit above the Azerbaijan league in terms of quality. I first say it was the other club, not Copa. Yeah, that's where Kenra Campbell is. Latvia 1st division. Man, I do him thing. Yeah, I know he was a defender then. He used to play left back for Cavalier before he left. And also when he played for us, he was playing left back too. Yeah, it's debatable. I mean, he's doing his thing. He's like the main man for his club. Him and Stevenson Jody from Haiti on that team. I mean, he deserves a look in as 55-man pool though, as far as I'm concerned. Another player that I almost forgot to look at, but we have to people. Another one that gives a lot of people PTSD when it comes down to Jamaica, but I don't care. We have to highlight what he's been doing. He's in the Serbian 1st division currently, Super League over there. and his team is battling in the relegation round right now. But over these two, let me just pull up his entire stats for the season. All competitions this season. All right. So he's 28 at the moment, Junior Flemings. Man, I'll play a game in a midfield. Wow, and score a goal. All right, so this is all comps. So this includes the cup. This includes, I'm not sure what this is. National 2, not sure what that is. Maybe that, I'm not sure what that is. But I won't include this one. So 28 played in the cup and the league. He has 12 goals and 2 assists. So 14 in 28 games. So not bad. Goal and assist every other game. So that's good output from him there. This is his team. This is his games for the league so far. They played up to the 30th match day. As you can see, good amount of minutes, a lot of starts as well. 17 in the starting 11, 4 subbed on. And only 2 other games he didn't forward onto the pitch, and that was when he first arrived. And then he did get a red card in 1 game, which made him miss a game as well. And then this is him in the playoffs so far, or the relegation round, I should call it. He does have 3 goals in 4. So trying to keep his team in the top flight. Okay, so this was actually when he was at the club he was at before to lose B. Yeah, when he was getting some game time before his move. So that's what that was. And then this is what he did in the cup. Had 3 goals in 3 games in the cup. So definitely having a strong output for the season. If he stays in this country, I wouldn't be surprised if a better team in the league doesn't go in for him in the summer, because he's definitely turning heads with his performances over there. So up to 700k now as far as market value. But is the PTSD too heavy for people? Can Flemo get back into this? I think he deserves another look, to be honest. If we're talking about the 23 or 26 man pool, that's another debate. But for a 55 man pool, if we're being totally honest, people, Junior Flemings deserves to be in there. So I'm going to add him. I'm going to add also, not going to add him, but I'm going to show you guys another player in this league that could be a potential choice is Norman Campbell. He's 24 years of age, playing for Vojvodina now. I think his team is actually in the championship round and at the relegation round. But let's look at his. So this is the league. He only started a third of the games, played about half the minutes, had 3 goals, 4 assists in 24 appearances, so not bad. And 2 appearances in the championship round so far with no goals. So let's look at all competitions for this season just to get a full snapshot for Norman Campbell. Not a former JC player, I think. Pretty sure. All right, so this is what he did so far. So 29 appearances in total between the cup and the league, and 7 goals or assists, 3 goals, 4 assists. So played the majority of his minutes on the right-hand side, either right wing or right midfield. Can play left side as well on the left midfield side. So versatile, can play deeper, can play more of a wing role, and can play in the middle as well, as he did in a few games. I think he played in the cup in the center forward role for one of the games. So, versatile up front. I think if I had to choose between him or Flemo right now, I would give the slight edge to Flemo, just based on the numbers. But with Campbell being a little younger, that's another thing to think about as well. But yeah, I think that, both of these guys honestly would warrant being in the at least player pool. So right now, as I said, we're getting to 18 midfielders: Dejan Sterling, John Russell, Kevin Lambert, Daniel Johnson, Karai Anderson, Brandon Kova, Casey Palmer, Delano Splatt, Bobby Reed, Speedy Williams, Tyrese Hall, Dwight McNeil, Junior Flemings. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I think I'm going to add Norman Campbell as well to the pool. And some players that I'm missing now. Let me go through and see. So any good suggestions in here. We need about 4 more midfielders. I will be adding East to the forward line, Mr. Lansley. I just haven't gotten there yet. Flemo in a Jamaican shirt is a game changer. Norman Campbell is one of our top 55 players, one of the top teams in service in his first year. I think they're bringing him on slowly as a multi-year contract. I agree, Football Guru. I agree with that one. Fresh cut. I haven't added him yet, but I will. To me, he has to be one of the 14 forwards in that pool. I don't know how he wouldn't make the 14. Rated football about to start. 9 more minutes. All right, listen. I'm not lie to the people. I just realized that it's been 3 hours of this. This is a marathon show for me. So listen, right now, as I said, people, I have a list of names. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come up with a way to get it on screen so it can be a little more interactive. So we're not gonna end totally here. Right now, we are about 14 and 4, that's 18. So we have a 37-man squad right now. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna find a way to put all this on a screen so we can go through it together, so people don't cuss me and say I don't add this person and add that person and all this stuff. So listen, I'm going to work on a program or a way to have it more interactive where you're seeing in real time who I'm adding and not adding, so you can follow along. As I said, people, we're at 37 players right now. I will return. I want to go and watch some football. I cannot talk about football if I don't watch the game them. So let me go and watch the football. It's about 10 minutes to kick off. I'm going for the upset today, people. All you Madridistas, don't get upset with me. I feel like Bayern going to find a way to come up with some kind of strategy and beat them today. I know that's a mad take and it probably won't be right, but I'm going with that, people. All German final, Dortmund and Bayern. Let's see if I'm correct on that. And I want to just give big thanks and respect to all the people that joined and spoke, gave their thoughts. We had a nice spirited conversation. Football Guru, big up yourself. Demo Dre, Pastor Lansley, Fresh God always in the building. Respect my bro. Lee Young, Jackie Love did pass through. Avis Williams, me never forget a baller when me did want to put pan there. Marlon King, Zaba HD, tell me about Harvey Nibs. Me never know about a baller there. Chris Smith, big up yourself. Ellen, Unstoppable, yeah man, all the people them with it pass through. Big up on yourself. And as I say, I'm going to go watch some football, people. I just get so caught up in this and we have a nice discussion. I not even realize that 3 hours and 12 minutes is a marathon. So yeah man, we don't want to hear about no placeholder. I'm going to left that up there. But the last thing I want to do is just highlight the people them where they drop the first super chat on my channel ever. So Mr. United drop a $10. Respect. Him tell me say it did a work. Mr. Man, first set of pound me ever get $2. Yes, it's working. And then big up yourself, JD. Come show and say I'm the millionaire in the building. £50 the man dropping on my channel for me. So respect and thanks for that. And you don't know people. Big up on yourself. And yeah, this was fun. This was fun. As I said, we're at 37. More than likely, I'm run out in my normal slot later. So look out for your next thumbnail later. Or we'll just it's going to be a continuation of this. And of course, since some football would have been played, we will talk about some football that has been played as well. All right. So big up everyone in the chat. Yes. And all those who participated, respect as well. And yeah, man, that is it, people. I'm going to go. Oh, it's not pound. Oh, you're right. It is euro. At this minute, you're right. It is euro. But hey, euro, pound, better than Jamaican, you know. Yeah, man, Corey. Respect for that, man. I'm out, people. I'm out. I'm gonna go watch the Champions League and some other football and thing. Yeah, man. So big up on yourself, people. And as I said, look out later. We'll definitely try to create the thumbnail early so I know say if I run out for sure. But through more I finish this 55-man squad, I think we'll just do a part 2 later tonight. Yeah, man. Everybody refresh. And what I will do, as I say, I will try to formulate something in my community tab and put a post just so you can see where we reach as far as the pool. All right. Big up on yourself. Euro and francs. So give me francs. Somebody send some francs now, no? A joke. Yo, big up on yourself, people, and thanks again for the strength. Later on, look out for the thumbnail when I drop it, and look out in the community tab for the list so far. All right, so you can beat that as what we have so far. All right. So bless up on yourself, people. Jason Gooner, we're out.